Hey, Sasha.
Hello.
Hi. So I thought your dry January was interesting.
Okay.
Seems a little, we don't think about those things. Don't drink, and your decision making might be better. Save some money.
Yeah.
Lose some weight.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look and go, you got to deal with your family then. Without drinking.
I mean, if that's the reason you're drinking, though, there are other coping mechanisms.
Oh, smoke pot. I've never tried it, but I am willing.
That was not what
You
I
did
was
not
advertising.
just say, sorry, Sasha. He's uncontrollable sometimes.
That's not. I just assumed.
I mean,
are you a big pot smoker?
Yeah. I think I'm giving off that vibe, aren't I?
I've never smoked pot.
No, I'm not. For me, it's like I'm just not interested in anything that would cloud my brain in general.
Now, wait a minute. Are you sort of like the Bill Clinton? You smoked it, but you didn't inhale?
No, I never. I was around it at parties, but I never. No, I never.
And you've never.
But I'm willing to try. That's what I'm saying.
But you never drunk beer either.
No, I drank a lot of beer.
You drank a lot of beer.
But never. I've never been. Besides, I love a margarita. Mm-hmm. And I think that's Sasha, what we bond over. Is our love of margaritas.
I mean, I actually don't know that we've ever bonded over that.
No, I'm sure we did. Well,
okay.
Careful, Sasha. He puts words in your mouth.
You were 3 margaritas in.
Maybe you can't remember.
So you don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, so besides that, I don't do, the big bourbon thing. I don't do.
Oh my gosh! Can I tell you quickly? I know. But Liz, I know this is you and Sasha. This is your moment.
No, it's open to
it's okay.
everyone.
It's open to everyone.
But I just saw this last week at the home show. And this guy, I think he's from Precision Outdoors, he was asked to create a bourbon library, a 2-story bourbon library for a family in Geist. And I have pictures of this thing, and it's the most amazing thing you've ever. It's billions of dollars worth, I'm sure of
bottles.
It's just bottles, sky high, top for 2 stories.
For Tony Katz?
I don't know that Tony's ever been there.
Did it have a library ladder?
It did.
Go
and
back.
It's just, and it's kind of dark and smoky looking, and then they've got the leather lounge chairs, and it's for his buddies to come over and enjoy bourbon.
That's really cool.
It's really cool. I'll show you the pictures because it's really something I've never seen before.
I hope as the evening goes on, they use the lower bottles.
Yeah.
Because up on that ladder seems
dangerous.
Yeah.
There would be some risks with it. Yeah. My dream is to one day have an actual in-home library with the ladder and stuff going around. I would
but with actual
that.
books.
I mean, I love books.
Okay,
in general.
I do too. So do you when you read for pleasure? Do you read on on a pad or?
No, I like to have physical copies
of
books. I've tried to read on e-readers, and I feel like for some reason it slows me down. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but I feel like if I'm holding a physical book, I can actually get through it really quickly.
Really?
But if I'm on an e-reader, then it's I get distracted and I'm doing other stuff, and it's not as fun.
My problem is I tend to read at night, so it really doesn't matter whether it's an e-reader or a book. I'm going to get hit in the face with either one when I nod off.
See, I can't do that. I can't fall asleep when I'm reading because it actually has the inverse effect where it
Get your
just
mind
supercharges my brain, and I just start having a reading meltdown. Yeah. I will say I'm very thankful that my dad is a heavy sleeper, because when I'm reading, I will be outright just screaming or making noises because I have to respond to everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Somebody write that down. We got to go deeper into that subject.
What? That Sasha's a screamer?
Yeah, when she's reading.
Yeah, reading and watching movies, I'm very reactive.
Okay, so real quick before we go. So in books, what do you like? I love murder mysteries, and someone needs to be dead within 2 pages.
Okay.
So what do you like to read?
I
do you read everything?
Most things, but fantasy is my number one genre, and dark academia.
Okay. All right.
I don't even know what
dark
academia is.
I don't need, I'm just pretending I know.
Naughty.
Okay, I'm just going. Oh, okay.
It's dark academia is there is some murder in there sometimes, but it's usually set in a boarding school or something.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones that I like also
margaritas.
involve magic and stuff.
Oh, Harry Potter, of course.
So
remember, Pat, when you got into that Jackie Collins phase and you couldn't stop reading kind of sexy Hollywood movies type stories?
Yeah.
That was you did that for 2 or 3 years you were in all the Jackie Collins
so that was
books.
a long phase.
Yeah.
Might be time to start the show.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Sasha.
Thanks.
Well, some folks say that grown-up men are still just little boys. That really the only difference is the price of our toys. We go for macho symbols like guns and running shoes, pickup trucks, hunting ducks, and power tools. Power tools.
Hey, good morning. Welcome.
Power tools.
You read Jackie Collins?
Saturday's Home and Garden program.
Think of all
Brought to you in part by the Michaelis
you
Corporation.
plan a garden,
Water,
fix your
storms,
car,
fire, and
build a
wet
house
basements.
you want to.
Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you there. Man, that was loud.
That was loud. I know. He's going through that phase.
Yeah, he is.
Got a phone call.
So here we are. We're all back together again, and we are so excited. Denny and I are so excited to see what the girls have planned for the show today.
Oh, well, definitely.
Well, because we just assumed that you would be doing everything since we were lifting this thing by ourselves last week.
I heard Jack was doing most of the lifting.
Jack was good.
Shout out to Jack, from Allisonville
Jack
Nursery.
Phipps.
He's our official sub now.
Fill in.
Yeah, he's coming with us next week because you're going to be gone and
Yeah.
we're going on a remote. Right?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
We're bringing our best face forward.
Yeah.
I
And
think Jack was with us. Was he with us last year?
He was. Pat says no, but Pat was with us one
No,
year.
last year
and
you
Jack
did eat the
was,
pickles. You ate my pickles.
That's right.
Pickles,
So it was
and,
2
the
years
year
ago Jack was
before,
with us.
yeah.
Yep.
We'll be at the Suburban Outdoor Living Show up in Westfield at Grand Park.
But really, when you think about it, when you have somebody like Jack around, you kind of have that person that's kind of in the wings, and because Denny could go anytime. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that there's 3 of us in this room that could go at any time.
Well, but I mean, he's advanced
He's
age.
not saying which 3.
He is of.
I think.
He's of.
It's good to see you again, Pat.
You know what I'm saying, Ethan? I mean, you're a younger guy. You and Allison. I mean, you got to look at Denny and go. You know, let's set the defib right next to him.
I'm convinced Denny's going to outlive us all.
There you go.
Probably so.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
Yeah. I mean, of the TV show.
Do you have a favorite character?
In Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking.
Star Trek?
Yeah, I was thinking Star Trek. Star Wars. The early stuff. Do I have a favorite
I
character?
remember you
No.
love Yoda.
Well, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going with
Chewbacca. Is
You
that the
love
name of it?
Chewbacca. Yeah, the big thing.
Yeah.
And you know who?
I always thought that was tobacco, and then it turned out as.
It would be interesting to talk to him how they
Have
came
you
up
heard-
with all these names.
Yeah.
All
It's
these
so easy to
words.
follow a line of thinking here. Do you remember R2D2?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Robot.
my favorite robot was L2D2. Live long, drop dead.
Oh.
That's my guy right there.
My dad kind of did that.
Your dad really did do
Yeah,
that
he was 87, worked on Tuesday, died on Thursday.
with a 3-wheel bicycle in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, It was very painful for us, but great for him. It's like it's like walking off the stage, going ta-da! It's like leaving the crowd wanting for more.
We had our neighbors across the street were always the Golden family in Speedway. When we first got married, we lived on Speedway Drive, and Sam and Barb Golden had 6 kids. They passionate Protestants, not even a Catholic family. They lived across the street. They welcomed us into this neighborhood.
Wait, they had 6 kids?
They had 6 kids. But here's the story.
Did the father, the local priest, ever come over?
Please let me tell the story.
Come on, play along, Deb.
I think he's starting to beg.
Yeah.
Please let him tell the story.
I was going to tell you that they
You
died.
can still do it.
They died within 3 days of each other last week.
Oh,
Barb died first and tore us all up, including the family. And then Sam passed away just 3 days later.
Sometimes that happens.
It's
does.
amazing how it
Yeah.
does happen. But great family,
Yep.
and they said their goodbyes this week to both of them. They had one funeral planned, and Sam dies, and let's just do them together, and they did it.
I know it's not any more comforting, but it's it feels comforting to know that they went together.
If you've been
in a
married,
sense.
that's exactly how you want to do it.
I think kind of that's it. Yeah,
it.
maybe so. Anyway,
Sorry,
I don't really
Pat.
know how you go from that to.
I want to
something
know
different. Maybe
about.
take a break.
Yeah, is it almost
For
time?
a couple hours.
no,
now.
I was just going to see how where this went.
Well, and then I wanted to hear about Allison's trip, and I was told not to ask her until the on-air button went on. Yeah, save it for the show.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So Allison went on her first cruise.
I did last weekend. It was a 3-day cruise. So it was a short-lived one. I just went with my sister. We had never done one before. So we went with Carnival.
Is that
Carnival,
what happened?
that's like
Wait a minute,
the,
a
party
3-day
bus.
cruise. Is that what happened to Gilligan's
The
Island?
party bus, kind of like they have really
Possibly.
old ships.
They don't want to see if you're over 50.
Yeah.
Which I will say there was a good mix. I was
Was it
very
really?
surprised. A lot of family reunions. But anyway, so so we left from the Port Orlando area. What is it called?
Port Canaveral.
You were over
Yes,
by
Port
Cape
Canaveral.
Canaveral.
Yeah. So we left from there, and then we went to the Bahamas for a day, and then we came back.
I hope you didn't get off at the Bahamas.
I did, and I will say too, winter is everywhere, people.
Oh, they had really bad weather.
So it was a little
forgot.
unfortunate that our first day on the boat was 40 degrees.
Oh, my Lord.
You know, in Florida. Coming from
my.
Florida.
In sunny Orlando. And it was a little rocky during the whole time. So luckily we packed a lot of Dramamine. So that was okay.
Okay.
And then because there was a big storms coming, I did not get to do my excursion, which was going to be swimming with the wild
Oh,
pigs.
that's
The
right.
wild pig
the
swim.
Wild pig swim.
So I was very
Was that in,
heartbroken.
where was that, in Mexico?
No, the Bahamas, the It's just
Nassau?
Nassau. Yes, Nassau.
Oh, I thought all the wild pigs were in the Mexican. I thought that was their deal.
Oh no, I think they brought these in maybe
Yeah,
from
they're-
Mexico,
they're
brought them in
domesticated,
because
I'm
it
pretty
becomes so
sure.
popular to swim with pigs.
Yeah, shoot.
Poor
Where
thing.
where do you where I mean, is it in the Gulf that they swim with the pigs, or just a swimming pool?
No, the Gulf. Yeah, and it's not really swimming. I've seen videos where they really just like walk in the water a little bit, and you feed them little snacks.
Okay.
And that's all I wanted to do. But
Yeah.
there was a big storm, so we couldn't do that. So we ended up just going to one of the little beaches.
Did
and
the storm really come? I mean, did it?
It did.
Okay.
I guess it was on a separate island from the main island that we were going to, so we just couldn't go to that. So we could go to another one.
Okay.
So we did end up going to the beach for a couple hours. It was about 60, so it was a little chilly. But,
60, but with a nice wind.
the nice wind and no
Hurricane
sun.
force.
And you're by the
No
water.
sun, but it was okay.
No sun, okay.
It was one of those situations where you just have to kind of laugh because
Yeah.
at one point I was just looking around and everyone's in their swimsuits with their towels like over them and hoodies up.
Was
and,
there guys that came out and served you drinks and stuff?
we could go to the bar and get some drinks. So
Yeah.
I did do that. Nice frozen drinks to warm me up.
jeez.
But no, it was I'm being dramatic, but it all in all it was fun.
Would you do it again?
I would definitely try it again.
At
So
different time
was
of year,
this
maybe?
just to the Bahamas and back?
Yes, and then we had one day at sea, and the sun did come out for a little bit, so we were able to do the hot tub, which
Okay.
was fun. A lot of people were super nice. The staff were so friendly. The drinks were really good.
She didn't love the food. Like when I go on a cruise, it's really about the food and the 24-hour food that you can eat.
Yeah, you didn't like the food, huh?
She didn't love it.
I didn't love it. It wasn't bad. It was fine. I think Terry hyped it up,
I'm
so I
so
had
excited.
really high expectations.
Well, I mean,
Hamburger bars, taco bars.
I mean,
you're gonna
they're on-
love this. I
you're
said
on-
to her.
It's Carnival. I mean, it's not
Right. What do you mean? Well, you mean it's not high end like a high end
right.
buffets or
It's not
anything.
like a
no.
what is
but
it,
I
like
just-
celebrity or
Yeah, like Royal Caribbean and stuff.
Yeah.
But they did. Guy Fieri has his own like little burger station, and that was really good.
Okay.
And there's a little canteen that was really good. So you just had to kind
But
of.
were
find
you
the
doing sit down at
pockets.
night, or were you just hanging
Both.
out at the buffet?
Both.
Both.
We tried both.
Well, that was
yeah. But then it was overall it was fun. No one warned me that they want to constantly take your picture.
Oh yeah, because they can sell those later.
Oh my gosh!
Because you can go buy them.
And that is my worst nightmare. I like being on radio, but I don't like my face
A
being
beautiful
shown.
young lady like yourself.
I don't like pictures. I don't like videos. And the only way to get to the dining hall was through this one hallway, and they knew it. And they
Right.
had
Right, that's the whole thing.
6 photo
And-
booths
and
in
they
a row.
knew
Oh, they
it.
actually don't have. They have photo booths, or maybe people are taking them, right?
Both, yes. They had like little like setups for like one was a piano, and you would lounge on it, and they'd take your picture, and they can sniff out the Midwest in me, so they always knew my sister and I would say yes, and so every night we would have to schedule an extra like 40 minutes because
you had picture
we knew
time.
It'd be picture
Yeah.
time, and
Because
I was
they
like, the whole time,
they
I was like,
probably just get paid on how many they actually not sell, but actually just
Maybe.
take.
And I think too, like they're bored. I mean, they're there just
Yeah.
all night to take pictures, and they're fun. They were like having fun with us. This one guy wanted us to be like pirates, so he randomly gave me a Captain Hook, and I was like, "Well, this makes sense." But it was fun. I mean, it was silly, but no one worried about the pictures, so I had to mentally prepare every
that
night.
part. I
So
forgot
the
that part.
question is,
Oh, and one more thing.
will you do another cruise?
Oh, I would definitely do another cruise. I just think we just got a little unlucky with the weather is all.
Yeah, you did.
And,
that kind of ruined. And you know what? Let's face it. 3 days isn't.
You don't get a real giant taste of what it's like.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of glad it was only 3 days because of
This is a good way to start.
True.
But I will
see
say
if you even like being on the boat. And you got a little sick for a minute.
Yes, I did get a little sick, and then
what did you get?
So I got a little seasick, which is okay because I had Dramamine. And then we had on Monday when we ported, we had about 4 or 5 hours before we had to go to the airport. So we went to Cocoa Beach, and the sun came out. It was beautiful.
Oh, great, good.
So we went on the pier to have lunch. And about 10 minutes after I started drinking a daiquiri, I got a stomach bug, and I had to lock myself in a family bathroom for 3.5 hours.
Oh, Allison!
So
You didn't even get to go to Ron John's.
No.
So you were
did.
just.
It was on our walk back from Ron
So
John's.
you were off the boat and you were without accommodations.
Yeah.
And because your next stop was the airport.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor thing.
It's okay.
I'm glad you got sick there rather than be in the air. You know, I was really glad, like, okay, if she's going to be sick, let her be sick here than in the air.
That
Were
was
you
my whole
dragging
thing.
your luggage with you everywhere you went?
Luckily, we had a shuttle service who was holding it for us. So, yeah, we got really lucky.
Wow.
But, yeah, it's just one of those trips. Everyone has them. It's just things don't really go according to plan. But it's okay. I will definitely try it again. Like I said, the staff and the people were just happy. Everyone was just happy to be on the boat and be away. And so it was good.
Did you go in the casino?
I did. I did not go. The minimum was like $25. I was like, I don't have $25.
No. I think it's always fun.
It's always
funny because
disappointing.
I walk through I walk through and everyone's just sitting there. They're not doing anything. And then I realized that they have to be in international waters before they can start gambling.
Got it.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, crazy. All right, we're coming right back. Our number 239-93.
Songs you hear when you were 7 and 8 years old.
Hey, good morning. Welcome.
Are the songs you always remember?
Oh, we were on the air?
Free Falling.
Oh, hey, Pat Sullivan along with Denny Smith, Terry Stacy, Allison Lemons. It's Saturday's Home and Garden Program brought to you by the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. So the elephant in the room here would be, it's wrestling. It's
wrestling time.
And in hour number 3, right after Craft Corner, Danny and I are going at it.
I was going to ask if you guys
Finally.
would, at least if you don't wrestle, would you leg wrestle for me?
No, we're going to fall out.
Did you
wrestle.
bring the Mazzola oil, Ethan?
I am
We're doing
going
this
to.
bare-chested.
Wait!
I'm going to throw his skinny little rear end right on my shoulders and spin him around and probably
first of
toss
all-
him onto the
No, wait a
sofa out in the
minute. You're
lobby.
such a big talker. First of all, your knees won't hold up,
just gonna say
and your
he's
back will crack.
kind of falling
So
apart.
you couldn't do
But
it
you know
anymore.
what, though, Denny?
That's his name,
I
falling
think-
apart, Pat.
I think with you as the target, I think my adrenaline would rally.
When we were kids, we used to go down to the Tyndall Armory and watch big-time wrestling, and Dick the Bruiser was one of my dad's classmates. And he would talk to us. His name was Richard Afflis, but, those were, everybody remembers big-time wrestling.
You know, the first time I
Channel
ever
6.
called a radio station ever, the only time I've ever called a radio station was when WIBC had sports talk at night. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
really a little kid. And I remember standing there and Dick the Bruiser was on with Jerry Baker. I think Jerry
yeah.
Baker, and had him on for the night, for the evening show. And my dad was bound and determined to get me to call and ask a question. I don't remember the question. I remember being on hold. I remember hearing his voice, and but as a little kid. And because I thought he was so cool.
It was as
Oh, yeah.
politically incorrect as you could imagine. At the Tyndall Armory, they always had what they called midget wrestling. Now, we can't do that type of stuff anymore, but it was that was the
have to be
pregame.
They
little-
actually have
little
midget
people.
throwing now.
Yeah, midget
He
throwing.
comes to
But-
town all the time.
But not wrestling.
No,
That's
no.
completely different.
If you'll notice on Ethan, he has this big scar on his forehead. He was a big-time wrestler. You want to tell him the story about how you got your scar?
I was going to ask Ethan if he's into this the professional wrestling that's coming to Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, brother.
That's you.
I've been waiting to
he
do
is.
that for since you guys started talking about wrestling. But no,
Didn't you see his belt? Look at the belt he's wearing.
Let me see.
no,
It's that big.
no belt. No.
Oh, no belt.
I've seen more people with belts on though downtown
big,
in the
like,
last
with the
couple of days.
big,
The big, like you're
yeah.
the winner kind of thing.
So how'd you get hurt?
Yeah, I think every little person that watches the shows and stuff like that, you try to kind of reenact it.
Yeah.
So my goal was to do one of the like kind of off the ropes.
Sure.
Yeah, I missed and hit the fridge.
Oh, rookie mistake.
You know, it's normally the coffee table.
Yeah.
It's interesting, the
I
fridge.
like to be different.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So did you crack your head open?
Little cut on the eye.
Oh, so not too bad.
Yeah, it looked worse in a moment. But
Okay. How old were you? Oh, that's just last
just
week.
20 weeks ago.
I'm like, this was before I got here, Pat.
Oh.
This morning.
This morning. So you're really into do you watch regularly the Friday
WWE.
night or whatever they call WWE? Thank you.
Was big on it when I was a kid,
Right.
which really wasn't that long ago. So now I have kind of matured into the UFC a little bit.
Okay.
But when I used to watch it, I was one of those kids that was full believer, just like Santa. It was real.
But there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of adults that love.
Oh, yeah.
The wrestling. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just
A
all.
lot of families
yeah.
downtown this weekend.
Yeah.
They have a strong fan base, and like you watch the shows, and like you could almost think that some of the audience is like paid actors. You know, they really get into it, and
Right.
they
There
you
are
know, are
such
yelling at 'em.
specifications, the tension of the ropes, the amount of spring that's on the
cares.
floor and everything.
Oh,
It's a good
sorry.
thing for families.
Is my mic on?
It
a
would
long
be.
day.
I think it would be fun to talk to. Obviously, we think it's scripted, right? I mean, it would be fun to talk to the people that script each
Yeah.
bout or whatever you call it,
Right.
match or whatever it is. But I think that'd be
I used to
kind of
take
fun.
our boys. Did you take Andy?
I don't remember. Oh yeah, I think we went one time.
Yeah.
We went one time. It was Market Square, I think, is where they had it, if I remember right.
Yeah. Yeah. We would go, and the boys loved it.
At how old? How old?
Oh, it's always that. I would say
Preteen.
yes, 7 to 11, 12.
And
But
were
then-
they into it, or were you into it, and
No,
you wanted
they-
them to,
they
love
were.
it?
They
were.
Remember me? I just work.
That's right. I thought maybe this was like your
No.
secret thing.
No, but it is like our next door neighbor, Jaron. Oh, Ted Austin's, my advertising.
yeah.
His son, Jaron, he is really into it. I mean, he drove down from Chicago.
You will never
brought his
convince the
wife
true
and child.
believers that it's not scripted. You'll never.
I think most people know, but it's isn't it?
fun. It's like a
isn't
soap
it- is-
opera.
I was just going to say, do you think it? And I know it's. I don't know what percentage is men fans versus,
I don't know.
Female.
A lot of females are down here this weekend.
but it is like a soap opera.
Yeah.
And we love. Did you watch soaps when you were?
Oh my gosh.
I
me.
love the.
All my children.
General
All my
Hospital.
children.
Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman.
I miss
Yeah.
those. I really do miss
Yeah.
having this scheduled time. And if not, I would videotape it or, tape the big tapes,
Right.
put it in, record when I wasn't home. And then I remember when All My Children said, we're not doing All My Children anymore. And there were big All My Children parties downtown where mostly women would fill these places to watch the very last
The
episode
last
together.
episode.
Oh, my
And it
gosh.
was so cool.
I always loved Fridays because it was big on Friday. There's always
Oh,
a big.
yeah. Make you wait
Fridays
all
was the
2
day.
days.
Got to get you through the weekend. Sure.
I can't believe you love those. Oh, they
Well, I didn't
were
get to
so
watch. I mainly when I was in high school, like when I was playing football, we always had that 2-a-day practices, so
Yeah.
you would always start watching in August. 239-9393 is our number.
We got In the Weeds coming, so get your thinking caps on because 2025 new trends in America. 2025 new trends in
Is
America.
there any of them that I'm going to be agree with?
You might know some of them just because you're in the horticulture side of things. I mean, we're going to talk about gardening.
Okay, but it's not like trends that kids are no longer going to be taught to read or anything like that.
Terry will probably.
That's kind of a trend on its
Allison
own.
I
will
don't
come
know.
in second, and you'll come in dead last.
I know
but
the
that's
trend,
what it
the paint trend of the year is cinnamon slate.
Sounds delicious.
Mauve.
It looks
Wait
delicious.
a
You
minute,
want
it
to lick
sounds
it.
like a candle.
I mean, you really want to lick it. It looks like a delicious.
What paint company was that?
faucet.
Do you know?
Oh.
It's usually Sherman-Williams.
Ben-
Oh, Benjamin. Is it Benjamin?
Ben Moore has one of theirs is mauve.
Again?
like a-
Dear Lord, don't tell me mauve is not coming back.
Well, that cinnamon slate is very similar.
that was-
It's a darker cinnamony color, and mauve is more like a.
Mauve
has it
is
got
like your
purplish in
fingernails.
it?
Mauve is
Oh
like
yeah,
That's
Like
a really
got
popular
purplish in
wedding
it.
color right now.
Mauve again?
Yeah.
Why do you guys not like
Dear
mauve?
Lord.
I
But
like it.
because
mauve.
it was everywhere in the.
I
in
can't
the
live.
80s.
I can't live through another mauve.
I'm just kind of glad we're
Another
going away
mauve
from
era.
gray.
What was
No.
old is new again, Pat. Oh, he's about to panic. Give him a break.
Yeah.
Ethan, do you know what mauve is?
You need to muff to a break.
Coming right back, 93 WIBC.
He shoots.
And girls, the segment that some of you only come to this show to hear this, and then you switch it over to the Bob and Tom Show.
I know I do.
It is In the Weeds with Denny Smith.
Brought to you by the fine ladies and workmen at efmarburger.com. Just a great. They've sponsored this segment. Pat said we never get a sponsor, and the ladies stepped up. And
No, I said you'd never keep a sponsor.
you'd never. Well, we've kept them.
only been
and they
3
signed
weeks.
up again. All right. So this week I came across some articles about what the new trends are for 2025. So I also got some statistics, and since Terry Lynn is a cat person and Allison is a dog,
And a dog person. I'm a dog. I have a dog too. I've always had a dog.
But I'm gonna throw the dog question to
never.
Allison.
I'm a dog person.
Just be patient, my dear.
I am a baby person.
David,
All right.
oh, I love that latest
Allison,
picture
what is
you
the
sent.
number one offense when a dog does something wrong? What is the number one offense when you have a bad dog?
Like bad behavior, and this is the owner's perspective.
This was what was reported for 2024.
I know this one.
Going to the bathroom inside.
Yes, thank
No,
you.
that's not it. It's getting into the trash.
Trash.
Oh my
All
gosh,
right.
that's so true.
Wait a
paper?
minute. Instead of pooping on the...
Yeah, because
Really?
that's usually only for babies or younger dogs or really small dogs where they don't get out. All right, so Terry, what was the number one offense for cats? What do cats do that drive their?
I got it.
Claw the furniture.
Pooping on the floor.
No, she got it. She nailed it right on. It's clawing the furniture.
Yeah.
I think these trends are kind of funny. All right, so we've got some new tomatoes coming, Pat. This will be for you.
Okay, great.
They have interesting names, and I'm going to I'm going to give you some names, and I want you to tell me which one is really it. You ready?
Okay.
Bronze Beauty, Yellow Submarine, Moonlight Glow, and Calabrese. So which one is the new tomato variety that's coming?
Yellow submarine.
That is absolutely right. Good job, Pat. It's a small oblong. It looks like a cherry
It's
tomato.
like a submarine.
Yeah, but it resists cracking on the vine, and so that is the coming tomato variety.
So
All right,
can we
who's-
get that this year? You think it's
Patty?
2025?
Probably
got
not.
s-
Who's the grower?
I didn't get
Is
that.
it Burpee?
I don't know.
You can't say
he
that
won't
on
tell
air.
us.
You can't do it.
I always thought that was
All right,
awesome.
so
Allison will
here's-
look it up for us.
Here's some new trends in restaurants, and I never thought I would hear about this, but you pull into the drive-thru. You've been to that drive-thru before. They have voice recognition at drive-thrus, and they will suggest things such as what you have ordered before. So don't be surprised if you go to Mickey D's and through the drive-thru they recognize your voice. Oh, hello, Miss Stacy. How are you?
Really?
Oh,
That's
see,
kinda
I don't know. I mean, at some of the Taco Bells I go to now, it is it's a voice.
Yeah.
It's a recording.
It's an AI.
It's an AI. Thank you, and it is just different.
Those are
it's
the trends.
just different.
Those are the trends. All right, so here's a funny one. If you go to a fine restaurant, they're going to have holographic menus and displays so that you will not have a menu. It will be holographically shown on the counter.
I don't
or
like
the-
that.
Now, question: is that better than you guys having to scan QR codes and look at on your phone?
Oh, I hate doing that.
I know you guys
It's
do.
better than that, I think. Anything's better than that.
But to have a holograph, I mean,
wonder
a
if you can zoom
three-dimensional
in.
thing. I don't
like
know.
make
Bring it out,
the text
bring it
bigger,
in.
so you guys don't have to take your flashlights out.
Here's another one for
You guys.
restaurants. Green dishes are coming
Shut
back. Easy now. Green dishes are coming back, and it's because algae is being used
Easy,
in
boomer.
pasta.
I've seen you pull out a
Spirulina-infused beverages.
flashlight
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Still on.
just to walk down this hallway
yeah.
to find the bathroom.
Oh, here's
That's
just a
right.
quick test. The bee colonies are growing, and I have just a quick question. How many bee colonies are there in the United States? 2.67 million, 26.7 million, or 126.7 million? How many bee colonies?
What
are
was
there?
the first?
2.67 million.
2.67 million.
I think it's B.
26.7 million. You want to take a swing at this, Allison?
I think it's the first one, the tube.
That is correct. It's 2.6 million, but it's growing. It has come up the last couple of years. So here, Terry, I'm pitching underhand. How many pounds of honey are produced annually in the United States? 25 million pounds, 125 million pounds, or 225 million pounds?
When you by say pitching it at me, was it the way you had the inflection in your voice?
Yes, it was, Terry.
Was it C?
No, it was
B.
not
I
C.
mean,
Yeah,
A.
B.
It was B. I think.
I love this woman. All right, so we have some new trends in real estate, too, and it's because the prices are going up because of inflation. And the people that do not have houses are getting really, really creative. So here's the newest one. It's co-ownership with friends and or family. So you have
former friends.
Well, that's the challenge, you know. If you don't have the marriage certificate or if you don't have the long-standing friendship, it could probably use it. Here's another one, super commute. We're having more and more people moving 2 hours away from where they work. It's called super commute because the prices are so much cheaper.
That's crazy.
It is
though.
crazy.
Well, too, it's a lot of people do remote jobs.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but you know,
So you
they're
don't have to come
going
in
away.
But they're
twice a
clamping
week.
down
They
on
sure are
that too.
clamping down on
Which
it.
I think
like
a lot of
crazy.
people are upset about now.
Oh,
because
they're
of that
upset.
because of that reason.
Yeah.
How about this?
Called
though?
the super commute, 2 hours or more.
And again, I
But you
don't.
get cheap houses, Pat.
I don't believe everything I read online, but I've heard it repeated, and I'm not. That only 6% of federal workers
That
are
number's
in the
not
office?
correct. I don't think that number's correct.
That doesn't sound right.
It
Let's
doesn't
get-
sound right.
Onward and upward, they are now
Hope
going
doesn't
to what they
include
call
the military.
super fixer-uppers. The super fixer-uppers are the houses that you drive by that are just absolutely trashed. You buy them for a couple $1,000s. You might buy them at a tax sale. And they're fixing them up. And with people like E.F. Marburger, who's the sponsor of this, you can get them all fixed up.
Oh.
Okay, fun fact. What percentage of home buyers in 2024 purchased a multi-generational home? What
That's an interesting
like
question.
grandma, grandpa,
Is this
Like in
mom
the
and
olden
dad.
days.
Is this
Like olden days.
Is this
Exactly.
nationally?
Nationally.
Nationally?
What percentage?
37%.
Yep. That's a third.
I
a
would
good
say
guess.
No, that's
that's high.
that's a turd.
I think maybe 12%.
Terry is really close. It's 14%. I'm really proud. Here's another one, and we just heard from Sasha about reading. The snug room is coming back. It's almost like a small little closet with good lighting, good ventilation, where you just have one chair and you can read a book.
Oh, yes,
you
they
put
had
your
that in the
blanket
home
on,
show
you know,
house.
like your
They're
Christmas present.
They're
Yes.
called the snug room.
They're called snug rooms.
That's adorable.
It is adorable. And they had one really at the home show in that centerpiece home. They had a little snug room.
And it's not
Did
like a library. It's just
No, just a cozy little area.
Oh, I
So
love
Beth
that.
and I thought about that because you guys don't experience this, but we wake up in the middle of the night, and
Yeah.
just to be able to go. So right now you have to go, and when you go downstairs, I always think it's weird because like who's peering in? Is the
Yeah.
burglar getting ready to? So we were going to have like this little reading room,
Like a
and
cozy area.
yeah, and then all the babies came.
Ethan, I'm going.
So instead
I'm
of
gonna go
that, we
along
have
here.
A crying room.
Now,
we
Ethan's getting married this year, okay? Or maybe next year. What is the new trend in weddings for getting the rings to the bride and groom during the ceremony?
like it used to
I
be
know.
dogs.
I
or-
know.
Pat?
The groom wears a dress.
No. We got that
Is
solved.
it? It's not an animal anymore, right?
Yes, it is.
It
It's
is
an
an
animal.
animal. Is it a
Usually they're
llama?
dogs.
Is it? What did you say, Al?
I say usually it's someone's dog.
Right. Usually
No,
dog, but it's changed.
falcons or eagles.
Oh,
This is the
no.
year where the falcons and eagles are delivering the rings. Of course, you can't
No.
do that in a church.
An eagle?
Don't
An
do
eagle.
this. This is not what an
Terry,
eagle should
I'm
be
reading
doing.
to you the trends.
Eagles should. And how much would that cost to get an
I
eagle
don't know.
to fly your ring?
Which
in
one
for
of these
you?
amenities
How
in
can you
demand
guarantee
for
you won't
homes?
fly away with it?
Listen, give me just. I got to
I
get.
don't
I got to
think
get
you're
this.
right
in.
on the
Jenny, this is
eagle.
like a show's worth of information.
I know. Okay, homes and neighborhoods. For the newer, they're going to have pickleball courts,
Yeah.
saunas in basements
Right.
of the community room,
see that.
and boxing gyms where you can go
Oh,
and box.
that's different.
One last one, and everybody is putting in when
Stay
you
in
go
the
to the
sauna.
home show. you
Or we
always
call
want
that marriage counseling.
you want to improve your home. These are the top 5 investments that pay off when you sell your house. You ready?
Ready.
HVAC conversion,
Okay.
garage door replacements,
Oh.
manufactured stone veneer inside the house,
That's weird.
entry door replacement. That makes sense, and vinyl siding replacement. And that's investing sense, not investing sense. That's in the weeds this week.
Wow. Denny, that was like you could have cut that. That would have been 5 episodes.
Well, that's all right.
All right, we're gonna have to round
carry
back.
the- You carry
We're gonna
the
have to
load.
round back because we have a lot of.
2025 is a big year.
We have a lot of questions on some of these things. We're
Yeah.
coming right back. 93
An
WIBC.
Oh, I love this song.
Hey, everybody.
The conversations off air
So-
are always so much fun.
So Gutter Helmet. I remembered there was a new offer, so I have to get this in. All right, it's 20% off the home show special. 20% off home show special. So that's a great deal. So give Gutter Helmet a call.
Okay.
20%. I didn't know if there, and I know there's 12-month financing. And again, Valentine's Day right around the corner. So, Denny, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I was saying, well, we have Angelo. Angelo, the poorest, conservative.
You're in the weeds, though. You had so much stuff
good.
there. I'd like you to
in the weeds.
go back down that list. And there were so many things that I was thinking of and making notes, and you just kept coming.
I was surprised you got the yellow submarine right. Do you see all the new varietals that are coming in for tomatoes?
No, I have common sense.
You have common sense.
Because somebody that names a tomato yellow bronze is not going to sell any.
Oh, Bronze Beauty.
Bronze Beauty.
Who names them?
Bronze Beauty, by the way, is a tomato. It really is.
Okay, but think about this. I mean, it's just like wines. They always say the name of a wine really can. I mean, there's
that's kind of funny.
Wines
It's descriptive.
that are top, but like that when you get into that middle group of regular wine drinkers, it's like the wine. I saw a thing about how important the wine name was.
Like Night Train?
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing in tomatoes. It's like if you see a tomato named Yellow Submarine, oh hell yes, you're going to buy that.
Yeah.
That's true. I buy a lot of
You were
things
such
just
a
based on the
marketing
name.
genius.
You're not going to
It-
buy
it-
one called Yellow. What was it? Bronze Beauty or
Bronze
something?
Beauty.
Yeah.
Yellow Plop.
There's
what if they called one called Yellow Plop?
Yellow Plop would go.
Why don't you name them, Pat? Or why don't you
Who
name
gets to
them
do
whatever
it?
you want?
I think somebody who's doing okay. I mean, with Yellow Submarine.
Well, eventually I'd like to, if we can, Allison, can you find us the person that names things when it comes to vegetables and
We
fruits?
can at least submit
and,
some stuff
Is that
to
the
them.
Tomato Council that gets to name
Well, I
them?
think
Or
the
I would
smellers,
think
the
it would
feller, the
be
guy that-
each company.
Yeah.
each company
each
that
grower.
invents this
Yep.
gets to name it?
That breeds it,
Right.
and then they register it, and they name it.
Oh my gosh! Well, you said breeding. Did you hear about that shark, that female shark? That there's no males in the tank at this particular aquarium, and she all of a sudden had babies.
I heard about this.
That's something that's a DEI.
That's the future.
No, they were-
people.
they were wondering if-
Males will no longer be needed. This is where we're evolving.
Yeah.
We'll be able to have children without a man, without your thing.
Whoa.
That's what we're evolving.
Who
We're
are you
so-
going to
we're
blame
like-
everything
We're very much
on?
like a shark.
Wait a minute.
We're
Who
like
are you going to
sharks.
blame stuff on? If you don't have a man in the house to blame, you guys are going to be helpless.
And you guys play a
I'm so
very important
sorry.
role in that.
I thought about it when you said the word breed. I brought that
Do you ever-
story to my mind.
Are you ever like? So I am 64. Do you ever sit there and go, God, I'm glad I'm this age?
Just was talking about it yesterday. I was talking about, first of all, that it was when you're a kid, you don't even know what the news is, really, for the most part. I think
Right.
the majority, you don't know nothing, and you're so happy, and all you're thinking about is going to school or whatever it is. You don't think about
Playing
the
outside.
news and the world around you, really what's happening. And then I'd like to get to the point when I retire that I just shut off all the news and I don't know anything more.
Wow.
I can
Sign
just
me up
shut
for
it
that.
off, and I don't have to know. And maybe that'll make you truly that happiness again. You know what I'm saying? Where
Yeah.
you don't know really what's happening,
Ignorance
and
is
you're kind of
bliss.
right.
Yeah,
Ignorance
the
is
internet
bliss.
definitely
What? Who
is,
said that? Was that Thomas Jefferson?
Yeah, the internet. Let's face it, is really turning each other, turning Americans against each other, and it's just it's outrageous. And then Allison, you're even like really maybe millennials, and you're a Gen X.
No, I'm a millennial.
You're a millennial.
Yeah.
So millennials like to talk about our age, because we always talk about, walking to school and, both ways uphill, which is kind of funny because that's what they say. But that's what our grandparents
They sure did.
said too.
Always
Yeah.
said that.
So as boomers, we were saying that same thing to our grandparents, but we didn't have the internet
I remember
to say it.
I remember my
Because our
grandparents.
grandparents always said
It's just
that.
that younger
remember
kids always know best.
Grandparents would say, I don't think I could raise kids anymore. And I hear my generation saying that. And even Allison, people saying, God, I wish I'd have raised the kids 10 years ago because I don't think I can keep up with
Yeah.
this. I mean, the technology alone is crazy.
Yeah, but even, I was telling Becky, and I don't know how it came up. It's like my daughter Becky has 3, grade school kids, and they have so much stuff,
Oh my gosh.
so much stuff going
Activities.
on, and she's like running around like crazy,
Yeah.
getting them there, watching their stuff, and my dad never came to one of my football games.
My dad came
Well,
to
and-
a
Maybe in
wrestling
high
match.
school, but
Yeah.
never in grade school.
Never
and,
came to a
and
swim meet
my mom
either.
just put me, it wasn't her week to carpool. My mom wasn't there either. It's like, and I never thought anything of it.
I didn't either, and I don't think that hindered me from the way I grew up. I mean, I don't think that was anything that caused
Yeah.
me any kind of pain and agony growing up, that they weren't always there with us. They were there for a good portion of our lives, but my mom.
Yeah.
Dad went to work. Mom
I just
stayed at home.
never
Then
thought.
she went to work.
I never literally thought of it, like looking around, playing football, looking at like, where's my dad? Where's my
I
grandparents?
think there's a lot of guilt now.
Grandparents never
among
came
parents.
to. I never remember seeing grandparents. It's amazing.
You kids. See, this is what the millennials are going. Oh, there goes Boomer again.
How old did you say you were? 64.
64.
It gets better, Pat.
Well, it can't get any worse.
Boy,
Oh,
you
you
kid.
never
What'd you
want
say?
to say that.
Oh yeah, don't say that.
My favorite part is where the word doesn't come in your brain anymore. It's like, what is that?
It's not the part where you wet
What's
your
that word?
pants.
Oh, it's break.
Or forget
It's
your
break.
zipper.
Hour number 2 is coming up, 93 WIBC. Sasha, do you ever go to the movie theater?
Oh, all the time.
I'm glad. You're an old soul. So when did they start this? I went to, I think it was a Landmark. We went to see Nobody, the Bob Dylan one. What was it called? What's it called?
Complete Unknown.
Complete Unknown.
Was it good?
It was very good. Very good. Very enjoyable.
Who's that? Timothy Chalamet?
Yes.
I love him.
Did you know? Do you
doesn't?
notice how many young men now are growing like little mustaches?
Little thin ones.
Yeah, to be like
little-
Timothy.
They're a little creepy.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't think it's a good trend.
No, I think that's reminds me of a 1970s porn star. Quite honestly.
You're not wrong.
So, anyways, when did the
Napoleon Dynamite. I was trying to remember Napoleon Dynamite's mustache.
I don't remember him. So, anyways, you buy your ticket and they make you select seats. When did that start? Is that something?
I mean, that's been going on for a while. So,
Has
like,
it really?
yeah. So
Wow, I didn't know that.
I go to AMC theaters most of the time,
Okay.
and like it's been a pretty common thing for them for years.
But it's like
For
it was.
years, so you pick your seat that you want?
Yeah. So you
like
can.
they turn the computer your way and then select your seats. It's like there's only 3 other people in there.
I know. It makes sense if it's like a sold out show. I suppose.
Where they want to try to so people don't take up that one seat. You know,
Right.
like where we'll all leave a seat.
But to
Yeah.
your point, if there's 5 people in the theater, it does seem a little silly.
Yeah. Well, you want to.
I don't think it. Like I'm with you guys that like I don't think it's necessary if there are only like 3 people
Yeah.
going, but I have to say I kind of like it because I can like I want to sit dead square in the movie theater. This is one of my OCD things. I need to be like dead center and I don't want someone to my right. And so I need to like
Sasha is my father.
Wait a minute.
That's what
you
my
don't want
Snuffy
anything to
always
your right.
did that.
How do you do that? You just
so like I like specifically find a seat that is either on the end so no one can sit on my right or
Okay.
there are like multiple seats to my right that are still open so that no one will sit there.
okay.
Is that before your arm?
So when you say
No,
square,
I just don't want someone on my right side.
okay,
Okay.
It's okay. I thought you said you needed to sit dead center in the
Yeah,
theater.
I prefer to sit dead center, but I will take.
No one can be on her right
But
side.
nobody can be on the right
But
side.
no one can be on my right side.
a
So
hard
if I
life.
have to take one or the other, I will take not having someone on my right side.
Okay.
Okay. How much does it cost now to buy a movie ticket?
Oh, too much.
Well,
What's
It
the
kind of
cost?
depends. So if you're like I have the AMC membership app, so that you basically pay like a monthly fee.
but Terry, if you're your age,
Well, no, like you pay like a
Senior
monthly
discount.
fee.
a monthly fee.
Not yet.
To get access to like whatever movies you want to see. But if you are just outright buying a ticket, I think a normal movie is like $13.
Well, okay. So my experience at
Landmark.
what was the name of the
The
movie?
Landmark. Oh, Complete Unknown.
Okay, Bob Dylan. So it was 2 tickets, a small popcorn, 2 waters, $50.
Yeah, the popcorn and the waters are what really get you because the tickets themselves are not that absurd.
They saw me, and I did, I didn't want butter because I'm trying to lose a little weight, but I felt like, give me the butter in it to go. I'll take it home.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you can take it with you.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna dip each piece of popcorn
No, I'm
in
not
the
going to.
butter?
But it's just like if they're giving that free, I kind of wanted it.
You paid for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if you're paying for like a Dolby or an IMAX ticket, which are like a lot more expensive. In Indiana, you're probably going to be paying $20 to $23 a ticket.
Yeah.
To go to an IMAX film?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And when I was in D.C., a few years ago, I went to see John Wick Parabellum in Dolby, and one ticket for that, if I had not had the membership, would have been, I think, $26.
Wow.
Because at the Dolby?
Yeah.
When did they start charging you for the Dolby?
Well, it's because it's a fancier screen.
Oh, it's a fancier screen. Because I remember seeing
thought it
films
used to
that
be a
said
sound
Dolby
thing,
Theater.
yeah.
You know, it had
Dolby
Dolby
sound.
Dolby Sound.
It's
Yeah.
both now.
It's both now, so they can charge you for the Dolby.
Yeah. About halfway through the movie, I went back out to the ticket thing and said, "Hey, our seats are a little too far over. We'd like to move them, just to mess with them."
I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm sure they thought
Do we
that
need
was
to?
hilarious.
Do we need to
Did you
bring
make
the
it-
screen back up so we can move our seats?
Did you make the teenager panic?
Yeah, freaked him out a little bit. Thanks, Sasha.
No problem.
Dun 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 dun.
Hey, Pat.
Casey, Allison, Lemon. It's the girls' show because they've been gone, so they are.
We put together a pretty decent show so far.
Yeah, so far.
You know, I don't notice you taking any phone calls though.
Well,
I put that on the list.
They just rolled in here. I might mention that we are brought to you in part by the Michaelis Corporation. Water storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. You know who else makes it happen?
No.
JMV.
Oh, is he here?
I think so. Hey, John.
Isn't that nice of you? You know, I haven't been to a movie theater since September 21st, 1999.
I'm with you. That's probably been about the last time I went.
Whoa.
I like a good theater.
What type
I
of
love a
idiot
movie
savant are you that you remember? Do you remember? How do you remember that?
Yeah. It was at it was called the Shiloh Theater over in Avon. Right
I
there.
know where
went
it
to
is.
see-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the cheap. It was, I went to see the first Star Wars installment after Return of the Jedi. You know, when they all started it all new. It was the one with that character Jar Jar Binks. It was so awful, and it was so awful. I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm never going back. And I haven't
We're
been
going to
back.
see another movie again.
Wait, what was the movie? I was spacing.
Star Wars.
It was
Put your
Star
phone-
Wars-
put your
it
phone
was
down
Star
and-
Wars with Jar Jar Binks, whatever.
When Jar Jar Binks made his appearance.
Jar Jar,
Okay.
and they had this underwater scene. Remember where they were going
Yeah.
to? Jar Jar Binks looked like my Uncle Jim.
I don't remember any of that.
So I was
working.
with films in the theater. I thought the whole experience sucked, and I was done with it. So I haven't been back.
Well, I think maybe. Do you believe in second chances?
It depends on who we're dealing with, but yeah,
We're dealing with a movie theater.
Yeah, exactly. My kids are 19 and 15, and I've never been to a movie with them.
Oh,
Have
wow.
they been to the movies?
Oh, that's sad.
That's really
You think
sad.
that's bad?
And quite honestly, I don't think my parents were ever at a movie with me either. Again,
But-
boomers, hold on here. When we lived at 40th and Park, when we went to the movie, we just walked up to the theater. I moved from there when I was 8. So 8 years old, we were walking to the movie theater. We went and saw Batman. Remember when Batman came
Right,
out with the
yes.
full length?
Right.
Oh, parents were involved.
I can remember also because I used to go to the movies all the time at the theaters up until that point. I can remember where I've seen every movie, what theater.
Boy, you hold a
You are
grudge, buddy.
tortured with that
Man.
mind of yours, dude.
Sometimes I'm a grudge holder. Yes, Diddy. Sometimes I am a grudge holder, and sometimes not so much in a bad way. There's one significant bad way, but otherwise, I think they're legitimate grudges. Diddy, is that fair? to
Oh
say?
yeah,
Legitimate grudges?
So-
no, I wasn't being critical. I was just saying that's a long time to hold a grudge. But if you're pissed,
Hey.
you're
Yeah.
pissed.
If you guys want to kill the rest of the hour and maybe go out and get a sandwich, we could ask him about Adam Schefter?
Yeah, Adam Schefter, who hates my guts. Yes. I don't like him either. So
do you guys
we
wanna go?
have a mutual agreement on hating one
Was
another.
was
get an
that
ice
from high
cream.
school? Was
Ice
that from-
cream?
Yeah.
We can do it.
So-
He'll
Maybe
go
a
on.
Yeah, you want to hear the quick thumbnail?
I don't know.
sketch of
Everybody
Adam
talks on
Schefter?
top of each other. Yeah. What was that from high school?
No, Adam Schefter is the big NFL reporter for ESPN, the newsbreaker.
I
Adam
remember
Schefter.
this. Yeah.
And he was on with me at the combine when it used to be in Lucas Oil Stadium. And I was sick that day, and I never really liked him anyway. He was always kind of I always thought he was kind of an ass. I didn't like him, and I didn't want him on. And then one of our producers was down there with me. I went to the bathroom. I was feeling really bad, and I came out of the bathroom, and he was sitting across from me. So I kind of was forced into having him on. And I could tell when I first said something to him that he didn't want to be there more than I wanted him there. So we started the conversation, and he was just short answering. I thought just being kind of an a-hole-ish dude. So I made him, I said, if he wants to get up this quick and leave, then I'm going to make him sit as long as possible. I'm going to make it really brutal on him. I asked him everything but his favorite color in about 15 minutes. I made him sit there for 15 minutes. And then after that, he saw Chris Hagen. And he explained to Chris Hagen, who's a friend of mine of Fox 59, how big of a jerk I am and how I can't believe anybody listens to him around here. He's a jerk, and just ripped me for like 35 minutes on a commute from downtown back to Fox 59 on the northwest side. So he got me in trouble, too, once with a tweet that I countered on him on Twitter, and then he got me in trouble with the Colts and our bosses and stuff.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, we had it out pretty good, but he hates my guts as much as I evidently hate his. So there we go. Adam Schefter, my story. But it's okay. I mean, I think he's gone on to do pretty
he
good
does all right, but I kind of agree with you a little bit. He kind of, I don't know how to describe him. I mean, I'm not deep into that stuff, but he always just, I don't know, when he pops up, it's like, that he has to always break the gossip. I know that's his job, but
very easy to get along with. Like I want to be friends with everybody, but it's that judgment. If I don't get treated, the way that I feel that I treat somebody, then we're going to have issues. And he's one of the very few that have ever acted like that.
When you put your head on your pillow tonight, John, just know that I've never heard a bad word about you. So no, I mean it. Never heard a bad word about you.
Well, you want to treat people like in that movie. What's the movie I saw? Complete Unknown. How Pete Seeger treated Bob Dylan when he was just a kid walking into that he didn't know him.
Right.
He said, "You just call me Pete."
Yeah, it's tough to deal with all the junk that goes on anyway, and then roll around and want to be mad about everything. So I want to have more friends than anything, and that's always been me. But yeah, it was just weird. He didn't want any part of it, and if he was going to be a jerk, and I was going to be a jerk right back, and a couple of jerks met right there in the concourse of Lucas Oil Stadium and tried to out-jerk one another, which sounds really weird.
That does sound like a little off.
Yeah.
But
if you ran into Jar Jar,
don't make that into a promo, Ethan. Okay, I don't want to hear about me.
Clip that audio.
Yeah. If you ran into Jar Jar Binks at the at the station, what would you say to him? Oh, I'm sorry, John.
Yeah, I like Samuel L. Jackson. I think he was in there, right? Samuel L. Jackson, and he had a good cast.
He was the Jedi Master.
Totally, in the first three, I liked the original Star Wars, or the original to me, 1977 New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. I didn't like the Ewoks, but I liked everything else leading up to it for the most part. But I didn't like that. And then I just said at that moment at the Shiloh Theater, Denny, September 21st, 1999, that I was done with it. And I've never been back to a movie theater. Not since. Not once.
Again, I would hope that you would someday feel like, you would give a movie theater a second chance.
Trying to think, what would get me in? I thought maybe if they ever ended up doing the film, I think it's been on the cutting room floor for a long time, that Richard Pryor biography that they've talked about doing. I think Mike Epps is in line to play that. I don't think they ever did that. If they did something like that, I might think about it. But yeah, I haven't been dragged in for anything, and I don't even know if it's necessary anymore, is it? Because of what you get at home.
Right.
Right?
Most of it comes through streaming now anyway, so I can see how you can get away with it.
Yeah, but I think
I do like going to the movies.
I do think it's important to get dressed every once in a while to go out in public.
Well, I could still do that. I use that in Bloomington all the time as a date mechanism. I mean, coming up from Greene County where I was, we would always go. My whole routine was go to Chi-Chi's, get the sampler platter. We eat at Chi-Chi's for the date, and then go to the movie. And me try to hold my innards until I dropped my date off and got home back to Greene County, which was always hard after Chi-Chi's.
Chi-Chi's was that was the place. That was the place.
It's coming back.
Yep.
It is?
Yeah. The one of the owner's sons, I guess, is trying to bring it back.
Hey, John, I thought Ethan was doing aerobics, but evidently we're way over our break. I thought you were just stretching.
Oh, okay.
I literally thought he was stretching, but he was waving.
Hey, you guys are awesome. As always, we'll do a little JMV takeover later on tonight. We were at the Workingman's Friend yesterday with the show, which is just iconic here.
Oh, man,
Everybody
that's so
knows
cool.
that.
Yeah.
And that was a great time. But as always, everybody in there, my favorite part of the week is hanging out with you guys.
All right.
It
Hey,
never seems like it's time enough.
hey, my son said that he was listening, and some kind of Twitter jerk called you, and you're kind of going back and forth, and then he said, "When's Pat coming back?" Do you remember that? Might have been a while ago.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just as long as Ethan cannot make the whole out jerking, and I meant in a different capacity.
Oh, dear.
I don't want that as a promo floating around WIBC. Okay.
We've got it clipped. See you
Party
later,
with
John.
me like JMV.
See you guys later.
All right, we'll listen tonight. It's the JMV Takeover on B105.7 from 6 until midnight. We're coming right back. Welcome. Pat Sullivan, Denny Smith, Terry Stacy, Allison. Ethan is behind the board. Our number 239-9393. That's the 317 area code. Welcome to all the wrestling fans that are in town this weekend. I hope you're having a good time. If you do get arrested, you can give me a call on my cell phone, 696-1087. I'll see what I can do. Your mic's not on.
Oh, it's not.
There it is.
There we go. Trump tariffs start today.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm just wondering how soon, as a businessman, a retailer, would we see changes in prices?
Probably
of
immediately.
The things immediately?
The stuff from Canada, does it include lumber?
It would be lumber and oil, natural gas.
I thought they excluded oil and gas.
Well, those are the primary imports that we take from them, so it must be lumber then.
I didn't hear there were any exclusions. There's been questions about, did Trump say there will be some exclusions? 10% from Canada, right? And then 25% from Mexico. Oh, 10% for China. 25%
Yeah, but see, the thing
Mexico
with
and
China
Canada.
is like 25, we already have 25% on $350 billion worth of goods from China. So patio furniture has been taxed at 25%. Now, so let me just tell you on my little world of how that affects you. So when President Trump had the first term, and really when he was in the election year, his fourth year, he put on a 25%. And then China was stalling just to see if he would lose the election, which he did. And the Democrats were screaming about
but they left it on.
They left it on. That's what gets me, is like politicians, both sides, can be so unhonest. I mean, dishonest.
Just say it, dishonest. They're
because
lying.
it's like, you complain you can't start a trade war. You can't start a trade war. For 4 years, you have left $350 billion worth of goods, and the American people paying 25%. So Trump always says the Chinese will pay for it. Well, that was true. They paid for it the first year in our industry. China paid the government gave the factories money to offset the tariff. Second year, they paid half. Third year, they didn't pay any, and then it was on us. But this is what happened to China. In the meantime, companies started, because you're just picking a factory. So all that stuff that was coming from China started coming from Vietnam.
Oh, that's right. You told us
Cambodia,
about that. Right.
Right. And then now a lot of it's going to India. So that's kind of what happens.
Okay.
They move around, but there's a growing thing because it takes a while. Like at first, everyone went to Vietnam. Well, Vietnam could not handle all of that volume. So then so now we get a small amount from China, and the rest is, now it's going to start. But
still made in China, but sent to Taiwan to send to you.
Yes.
Okay.
And not made in China. I mean,
still made in Taiwan?
No Taiwan.
It has to be domiciled from where it comes
There
from.
was one other thing that I did that was a credit to President Trump, because some of that stuff, because of the tariff, certain lines of patio furniture ended up being cheaper, and they're now made in the United States.
Yay.
So some of those,
Great.
so he's right in certain things, not always like the blanket statements where, oh yeah, the Chinese are going to pay for that. No, generally, eventually the American people are going to pay for that. But some of this, it all gets moved. It does hurt China, which I think is what the plan was, the goal was. But we have a very popular line now that's just made in Chicago. So.
Fantastic. I just wondered because I knew they went into effect today, and I wondered how soon we would be starting to see it. They say maybe on vehicles, as you said, Denny, on oil,
It'll come pretty quick.
That those prices will change for us, if at all. I'm assuming yes, but how soon that would happen?
It'll happen pretty quick because everyone will want to. If they have cans on the water, they'll get the tariff. If it's out in the middle of the ocean, headed this way, and they put the tariff on, that can is getting the charged.
Oh, okay.
Just like that.
Well, President Trump says that we as Americans will understand. So I didn't understand quite yet. So I needed to understand.
That's fair. I'm glad someone said it.
I said it because I didn't quite understand how this was going to be good. But
it's not
thank
good.
You.
It's really not good. But joining us is an expert in tariffs, and that is George Faber.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Pat.
Hey, George. How are you?
I'm fantastic. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. You're starting to, we're going to have some temperatures in the 50s again this week, and it'll start to seem a little bit like spring. Now, you had a pretty good run out at the home show. How was the traffic out there? Good?
It was great. We had a tremendous response at the show, and obviously we had a lot of customers looking at projects that they're thinking about doing for the spring. You know, one of the things that is important, and it's really on anything that you buy, is to be able to make sure you look at the details. Because a lot of times someone will say, well, a window is a window. Well, it's really not. It's like a car. You know, you may have two cars that look alike, but one of them's been in a wreck and the other one hasn't. Sure. And so it's some things to look for on windows and questions is on the screen. We have a high visibility screen, which when you look through it, it's amazing. You just don't even see the screen. And then glass. A lot of times I've had people say, well, I'm getting insulated glass. Well, it's completely different in terms of the efficiency of the glass. You can get a high low-E coating that makes the glass very efficient, or you can get no coating. And this is the reason in pricing a lot of times where you'll see these wild swings in pricing. I mean, you're talking about patio furniture. You have the same thing. You know, someone will look at one of your products and it's high quality stuff, and if they look at another one and it's a lot cheaper, except it's a piece of junk.
Right.
And
absolutely.
So I would encourage people that were at the show to really dive deep. You know, the other thing that really has helped us is we have a visualization tool where we can, if a customer says, I want to change my windows from white to black, well, we can take a picture of the front of the house. We can show you exactly what that's going to look like. And which is, for all of us, you want to get what you think. You want delivered to you what you think you're getting. And so that's one of the things we pride ourselves on. One of the things that's helped us over the years grow our business is that we don't tell people one thing and deliver something else. And so, and with all of our employees being owners of the company, we've got an employee-owned business. It's all in their best interest to make sure they deliver high-quality product. And right now we've got a promo on for 18 months, no payments, no interest, no down payment. So you got a project you're thinking about doing going into the spring, it'd be a great time to give us a call or go to our website.
There you go. George, thanks for spending a little time with us. We appreciate it. He never even mentioned the tariffs. 800-233-0169, bwindow.com. What? Are you trying to get Macho Mike to call? What's the deal?
He doesn't.
I mean,
he doesn't know who Macho Mike is. Yeah.
Well, he called last week.
Yeah,
Macho Mike
did?
called last week, who did a YMCA at the Indians game
So
for
Ethan has met him.
17 years on top of the dugout, or 14 years, something like that. And so he called last week, and we had him play the song. But now he might have broken a hip. Laying at home,
head to the phone
because he listens to the show, and he would have jumped up without stretching and probably tripped over the cat. So
who was scratching the furniture?
Yeah. We are joined now on the program by Angelo. Hey, Angelo.
Hey, young man.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Living the dream.
Well, good. What's up?
Well, first of all, congratulations to Ethan.
Yes.
Second of all, on
He's getting
February
married.
11th, I will be married to my last wife this coming February 11th, 6 years. And when you were talking about bronze beauty, that's what they used to call me when I was a teenager in Greece.
Don't be bashful. Go ahead and spill it all out, son.
Yeah, that takes away. I was thinking, we were thinking that was the name of a tomato, and that really changes that thought.
Yeah, they also have a lettuce called bronze beauty.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that one.
But the reason I called is because back when we had the really cold weather a couple of weeks ago, all the weather reporters and all the news kept saying it was unseasonable weather. Well, what season would 10 degrees be? It's winter. It's supposed to be winter.
I like
How
a
can
good
it be
skeptic.
unseasonable?
Way to go, Angelo.
Wow.
Way to go.
It's really seasonable.
Do you start yelling at the television when you hear stuff like that?
No, I just grit my teeth.
You just grit your teeth.
Well, because of the seasonable temperatures.
He is a bronze
Right.
beauty.
Yeah, he is a bronze beauty, so he's not used to the normal seasonable temperatures in January. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of withered up and white now, so
Yeah.
I'll be 74 in March.
Way to go, Angelo.
Nice.
You guys are just kids.
Yeah, well, Denny is in his early 80s.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
and one more thing. I only have 4 more child support payments.
How old are you? 74? You were having kids in your 50s?
Yeah, that was...
No, you know what? Let's just
wife
save
number
that.
2,
Yeah, let's.
wife number 2
Wow.
request.
You didn't know you were shooting live rounds?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
no,
for-
hey, now let's.
for crying out loud.
Hey, now.
She must have been a lot younger
Boy,
than
it's
he is.
really great to hear from you, Angelo. And look at the time, by golly.
I had a good friend.
Did we take the bottom of the hour break yet? Look at it.
He's holding his hand.
We didn't?
He looks like he's got a migraine over there.
All right, so like more like 45 or something. Okay.
Have you ever had a good friend who has
No.
children in their 20s
Oh.
and then they get remarried and start another family? It's an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
I bet the family reunions are pretty interesting too.
Mm-hmm. So, you're all familiar with NOAA,
Yeah.
like the national, what is that?
Oceanic and atmospheric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like are they the national, they're not really the National Weather Service. What are they? But they're a government agency. Is that correct?
Yeah, and they're pretty screwed up.
So they came out this morning with, they studied the predictions of the groundhog.
Oh, that's right.
What
I forgot the
a
groundhog's
great
tomorrow.
investment of government money.
I was thinking, they turns out that
Are they still going to do it with the TDI and stuff?
Punxsutawney Phil is only 35% accurate. And then there was another groundhog, an unknown groundhog somewhere that was 85%. But it's almost, and I know they're doing it in humor, but they present it more as like it's a research project, and it's like,
have they done the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus yet?
We know that they're groundhogs.
Yeah, you didn't know
it's just kind of a.
We know it's a joke.
It's a joke. It's just kind of a tradition.
You get to wear those funny hats.
I don't think it's any reason to beat up on Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah. He's just got woken up from a nap.
Yeah.
He's 130 years old.
He's a groundhog.
He takes elixir every summer to get him through another year.
I remember when he bit the guy that picked him up, bit him right through the glove.
Good for him.
And the guy, he swore on, it was a national. He goes, but the groundhog bit him a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
There's a big one here in Indiana now that's starting to get some national attention, and I'm looking, Hope. In Hope, Indiana, the groundhog Hope is starting to get some national attention for her ability
Is she more accurate?
to be more accurate. Big celebration.
So
sort of like
how...
She's a pretty little thing. Let me show you the picture. She looks younger than Puxatawny.
She looks
You
like
see her down at the
a
bottom?
groundhog.
She looks more awake.
Yeah.
Is this sort of like the
Pretty
emu
thing.
on Liberty Mutual? They all make the big time one way or another.
Yeah.
Animals.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that and I know they did it, and hopefully they didn't spend a lot of time on this, but
Oh, they did.
On the research.
on the research
they did.
of a groundhog that's predicting.
Yeah, Bob, we had to let you go, but
Yeah.
the money went towards the groundhog budget.
Well, I just screwed up my
that-
whole spring break because of that groundhog.
Allison just brought up a good point. Here we are trying to cut budgets, and yet we're investing in stuff like this.
Well, I'm
Knuckleheads.
sure that was just a 10-minute thing. I'm not
Pat.
going to get up in arms over that, but
No.
we do know
Don't
it's
hold your breath.
just a groundhog.
Just a groundhog.
Yeah.
Not even really. I mean, really, it's always a different groundhog.
Yeah.
Puxatawny Phil really isn't 130 years old.
No.
Terry, you can't say that stuff on
I mean,
air.
it just seemed. Elixir. Why aren't we all drinking the elixir?
No, I'm still trying to get this
So-
idea of a bronze beauty and Angelo.
So
Hamilton County out of my head.
tomorrow we celebrate the groundhog.
Yeah.
And on Monday, we try to trap them. So there you go. Coming right back, 93 WIBC. Is this the Sex Pistols?
ELO.
Oh, ELO?
Yeah.
I love ELO.
Me too.
I actually do.
I mean, really, I'm not lying.
I'm not either.
I asked Ethan if he would play this. It's just a good song to start the day. Had such a weird, sad week.
yeah.
ELO.
Tough
We always remember the ELO. Do you remember REM? Do you remember what that
sure.
stood for?
Do you remember BTO?
No. Do you remember what REM stood for?
No.
Rapid Eye Movement.
Oh.
And that's how they got their name.
What's ELO is Electric Light Orchestra. How about BTO?
BTO.
Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ELO, a friend of mine who worked at the store, Mike Wood, and we went to grade school together, a couple years younger. But he would, back in the day, he recorded stuff, could put stuff on cassettes because that's what we had in our cars. And it always freaked me out because he had this ELO thing, but he kind of DJ'd it. So like it would be, and then all of a sudden his voice would come, sound like he was in the back seat.
That's actually really fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Oh,
I want
boy.
my friends to DJ my car, and they're not there.
What's that?
I think that'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you guys kind of missed our mystery guest last week.
I listened to it in the car.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did?
It was so good.
Oh, good.
Leave it to Pat to book somebody he doesn't know
Well, it's funny. I did not.
who he was, where he came from.
This was Daniel Nix.
Dan Nix.
And his
Right.
girlfriend,
And-
right?
yeah.
Just a few
Grace.
months, and you guys had him off and
They
married.
haven't been married. No, they've been dating.
Very awkward moment.
It was.
I know. I sent
it was
him
a
a-
weird situation because I was emceeing an event for teachers, teacher appreciation, and I had a guest lined up for 10 o'clock last week. Dan from Home Solutions. Is it Home Solutions? I think it is. But anyways, and he got the flu right in the middle of this thing. So Terry, I did what you would do.
You just ask
emceeing, you
somebody-
just say,
Can
hey, I
somebody
just
else-
had a guest that canceled and somebody in this room is going to have to fill in.
Step up.
So it's just a joke thing, right? Well, at the end of the evening, he came and goes, hey, I want to do that. It's like, okay. And I just said, well, here's my cell phone. Just text me. It's on Monument Circle and we'll let you in.
and you didn't ask him.
No, I didn't ask
what he
his
wanted to
name.
talk
So when
about, or
I
if he's
said,
qualified, if he's a
nope,
crazy
nope,
person.
didn't know anything. And
Okay. Glad I wasn't
I mean,
here.
he could have gotten political. He could have.
Oh my gosh! This makes me
And I
nervous.
said to Denny on the air, I said, hey, I have a guest coming up and they're 10 o'clock. And Denny goes, oh, great. Who? I said,
I don't know.
I don't know. But it was really fun. We should do that more
really
often.
Good. I think so too, because everybody's got a great story. He had a great story.
Yeah,
he did.
Musician and
the Dan Nix Band.
Yeah, and you can find him at dannixmusic.com.
Or is it the Dan Nix Orchestra?
Well, it might be that too, but it was dannixmusic.com.
Well, somebody suggested we have him next year for Salvation Army.
I was thinking that.
And I think you suggested it. I think one of you two said you should be here for our stuff during Radiothon or any time, really. I mean, through the summer. No, but an orchestra would be so cool. Even if it's like a 5-piece orchestra.
Here's what he's got. He's
right?
got Dan as himself, individual. He's got a combo, which is 4-piece. Little big band is 9 to 10 pieces. And then he's got the big band, which is 17 to 18 pieces. That's really pretty good.
I remember talking about the big band. Remember, this was the low point of me for the Salvation Army. This is like 20 years ago. So we had our music lined up. This is before Allison did all the work and stuff, and I would try to book these bands, and the Salvation Army band canceled on me.
Wow.
Because they used to have
they had a brass band.
They used to have a brass band, and it's like, so I had them lined up. They had a slot, and it's like,
this is their show, and they busted.
They canceled. They couldn't get all the crew together.
Wow.
But you know what? I fought on.
You sure did.
I fought on.
You're here.
That's how we ended up with Roadie Ted.
Do you know that was 2 months ago?
And the Rents.
And the
Rents. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, anyway.
Well, that's coming up. Just 8 months away, 9 months away.
Hey, I saw Bill Benner yesterday from the Indianapolis Star and all the different things that he did, and he's a regular listener of the show.
Of this show?
Of this show. I know.
Wow.
Shocking.
Wow.
Got serious boredom issues, does he?
Well, I don't know if he doesn't have the.
Maybe he's a lawn and garden guy.
Well, or maybe he just doesn't have. Maybe he just has a radio and doesn't have the
Bluetooth.
I thought Benner
just
only
doesn't
had
have. He doesn't have the means to, to have a different source of entertainment.
I
and
thought
this
Benner
is it.
only had an AM radio.
I know. So, but here we are. So straighten up.
Yeah.
Benner's listening.
By the way, I have had so many compliments on your Pat Sullivan Yeti cup that you gave us all for Christmas. I don't know if you guys have taken these in public. Everybody goes, "Where did you get that? Where did you get?" So
from this guy.
From this guy.
Mug.
Yeah, and
it's a pretty good service that you do when you engrave that
so
stuff.
we have we engrave Yetis at our Keystone location. So when I had to give gifts, and I'm a terrible gift giver. Let's just start there. And normally, because I own a lot of stuff, when we do these things, I just find a bag and throw some stuff in for you guys without a lot of thought. And then all of a sudden we had.
You are really schmoozing us, aren't you?
It is what it is, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but then we had that engraver, and I thought, what better would it be than an etching of myself, my face on your Yeti cup?
And honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah.
So then I went ahead and carried that forward to my poor wife, Beth, and she got
like 4 or 5 different
She got 4
Yetis,
or 5
didn't
things.
she?
She's got a couple of Yetis with my face on it. She loves good Irish cream. What's it called?
Bailey's.
Bailey's.
Yeah.
So we got a big bottle of that, and we actually engraved the bottle with my face on it.
Gosh. Nothing says I
And
love
I just
you like a picture of Pat
I
Sullivan.
took a sheet of glass and a frame and just put my face
You
on
can
it.
etch glass, too?
Yeah.
Can you etch metal?
I don't know.
It's a great gift.
Yeah.
And
It
so
is.
if you're thinking about something truly unique, whatever that occasion is, it's a cool gift.
So we got to look in because we can't. So it's a caricature that works the best. But Allison, this is your job.
Okay.
So I was doing a little research. By research, looking it up online. Evidently Canva has a program that you can take a photo and it will switch it to a caricature / cartoon type of thing.
Okay.
Do you know of that?
I think I do, yes.
Okay.
Canva's the program we use for in the office for
Is that AI?
emails and
Is
they have AI
It's IA.
but it's graphic design
Yeah.
for beginners.
IA means International Academy over in Zionsville off 421. That's IA.
Really?
And by the way, did you hear that we've got Noblesville and Westfield both in the finals for the USA Gymnastics finals? Both of them are in the finals. I read that in the Indianapolis Business Journal.
Where's that taking place?
Well, I'm sure that in Westfield that it would be a Grand Park. I don't know where it would be. At Noblesville might be that new event center that they have. But gymnastics is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Everybody wants to stick a landing, that's for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Good for you
when you come off the ladder? Or
talk the stuff.
Yeah. That's what I try to do. I'm going down my odd list of things that happened this week. We did go to a Pacer game, Beth and I.
You did?
Yeah. Turns out Radio 1 has some nice seats.
Ooh.
Yeah. Right in the second
did you get the
row.
Tickets
Yeah.
for Radio 1?
Yeah, because I'm an advertiser.
Is this the second time you've used those seats?
You know what? Actually, I looked across, and there was Jeff Samuelian.
Really? Did you say hi?
I haven't seen him
No,
for a
he's
while.
across
but
he still has the same seats right on the
great
right on the
seats,
court.
Yeah.
Birthday is April 6th, same as Snuff's.
Yeah, he just kind of stretched out. Looked like he looks good.
He probably feels a little better.
Got a great head of hair.
Yeah. Always had great head of hair.
Punch him in the face for that. Sasha, I feel like I always come up with the things to talk about. I thought, maybe I should ask you what you would like to speak of.
I mean, I don't know. I think the first thing that we need to clear up is, did you ever get my text message?
No, I meant to tell you that. I did not. I obviously blocked you in another life.
Right, yeah.
I seriously, I went back and looked, and I don't know why.
Yeah, we're gonna do the inverse of it today, and you're gonna send me a text and see if I get a message, because I did not block you. So
that is really weird. I meant to tell you that. It's like after you sent it the second time, I don't have it.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Now I'm using a service that is kind of like, I guess it's well known. It's AT&T, right? And I know you're using something called Bob's.
Am I?
Yeah, didn't you say your service was Bob's?
I don't think so.
I thought that's what
unfortunately, Bob's is not in my wheelhouse right now. It's actually T-Mobile.
Which is owned by Bob. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not very reliable. No, I'm kidding. I don't know anything about them. Yeah. So, all right. So we'll definitely do that. I totally forgot, and I was going to round up. So let's talk about you, because I think everyone likes to know. So where did you go to high school?
Lebanon.
Lebanon? Okay. Don't say that like it's you go Lebanon. That's a good place.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna explode up there. With all the Lily stuff going on up there?
The business side of Lebanon has really grown.
Business or business?
Business.
I like to say business.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the last few years. But yeah, it was a good place to grow up. But I think I'm like a lot of kids that, like, having grown up there, I didn't really want to go back.
Aww.
It's like you don't.
Were you a volleyball player?
Well, recreationally, not for like the school team, but for like co-ed teams. Yeah.
All right. And then you went to college. Where?
Yes.
Where?
I went to Purdue.
Purdue. Okay. And then what was your major?
I was an English lit major, and then I had minors in communication history and political science.
Did you ever think maybe you'd want to be a teacher?
I actually have been a teacher.
You have.
And I do really enjoy. The thing is, I really love working with kids, but I don't necessarily enjoy being like the head of a classroom.
Oh.
Like, I would rather. I've actually thought about this a lot. Like, if I were to go back into a job with kids, I would like for it to be more of a thing where I'm like an ambassador with them, kind of, so that like we're doing a program together. Or something.
And you could have like a sash.
Not that
like
kind of ambassador.
A sash is like the ambassador's here, everyone on their feet.
But yeah, just like doing some sort of program with them. I think that would be cool, because I think that would be more my speed than like putting lesson plans together.
Seriously think, and that would be good for. I seriously really think that teaching is probably one of the hardest occupations, and I don't think that they probably get. I just hear, and I hate to get it because I always go around like this. I wish that they would stop spending so much money on buildings and invest in their people and invest in teachers, because the kids don't care about the buildings. I went to a Catholic grade school at 71st and Keystone that was built in 1954. I graduated from it. My children have gone to the same building. My grandchildren are in the same building. It's well maintained. They spend $1 million here, $1 million there. Washington Township and everybody else, they just take hundreds of millions of dollars. What about the teachers?
Yeah.
The kids don't care. Average, well-maintained buildings with small class sizes, invest in the teachers, but we just get it backwards. I think teaching, I admire teachers. And you know what? I'm not exactly a smart kid. And matter of fact, I always think back, it's like, where's my speech therapy teacher right now? If she could just see me now.
Yeah, I will say I feel like the teachers that had me are like, I was kind of a mixed bag. Like, I was good in classes and I was very dedicated. I was a very dedicated student, but I also talked way too much and did not listen nearly as much as I should.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't seem like a big chatter.
I think you're related to Pat.
I'm very shy. Were you shy?
No, not at all. I remember this is like a core memory at this point. One of the first activities that I had to do in speech class, she had brought like a top hat, like a magician's top hat, and had put a bunch of little sheets of paper in there with different like prompts. And she was like, okay, you can draw 2 of these out of the hat and you have to do one of the 2. So I like drew the first piece of paper, and to this day, I do not remember what was on it, but in my head I was like, oh, that's terrible, I'm not doing that. So I just threw it back in, not realizing that the second thing I drew was going to be worse. And the second thing I drew was that I had to rap Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Ooh.
And in that moment, like 10th grade me was just like, you know what, okay, we're already in this. And so in front of the class I was like, somebody give me a beat, like really trying to hype it up. And it was just a room of dead silence, absolute dead silence of everyone. Just
no one helped you out?
I will say Rick Mount's grandson, Jordan, ultimately dropped a beat for me.
Really?
Yeah, and we got through it. But yeah, that was one of the first things I remember was like my 10th grade speech class. I just could not. I mean, and when I went to college, I just went for 3 days, but I was taking, Denny, what's it called? Like where you take speech class, but you don't have to give a speech, They
really call that just English class.
Well, I know, but they had it at IU. You didn't have to, you just did a project. You didn't have to, you just turned it in. You didn't have to actually get up in front of and that's what I took. I mean, just for one day, because I was only there 3 days, and I think I missed the second class because I dropped out. Okay. So there you go. And that's why I'm stuck here. All right.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Sasha.
Thank you.
This hour, because Craft Corner makes its return with Terry Stacy and Allison Lemons.
How did it go last? Thank you. How did it go last week, though? It was good, I bet.
Jack came, and he was in charge of Craft Corner, and you guys did a succulent planter, right?
Yes, we did.
Oh,
it was really
Jack
good.
mainly did.
That's so cool. You can still see that. If you missed that, you can still see that on our Facebook
I like how Jack
page.
put a little sign over your names.
I do too.
That said with,
the thing is, that's
Jack and
permanent.
Pat.
Yeah,
I don't know
Pat.
what's going to happen when you try to peel that off and get back to Allison.
So what is today's, and this is going to be at the bottom of the hour, and you'll be able to watch it on our Facebook page, Home and Garden Indiana.
This is one that Allison found. Allison,
are you going to tell us what it is?
It's Valentine's Day themed because next week we'll be on the road.
Okay.
It's very simple. You only need 2 or 3 items.
Okay, perfect.
And
is it good for kids?
Oh, this is specifically mostly for kids.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Literally anyone could do this.
It'll keep them real busy for a while.
Excellent. So, Allison, I think we were talking about the paint colors of the year, which I'm not really sure why they do that. But like when I went to the Christmas show, because everyone does that, that's a big deal, is to announce the colors and the themed colors. And I may have mentioned to you, have I seen you since I've been back from I think I did, but pink.
Mauve, specifically.
Pink was, that was
Mauve
the
is
color
a
of the year.
bit more
This was for
purple.
Christmas.
Oh.
Christmas is pink. So you go around the America's Mart, which is down in Atlanta, these 3 18-story buildings, and you would see pink-themed trees.
Oh.
Like light pink?
Yeah.
Like puppy
like
pink?
you'd see like in a little girl's room, which I would see that would be the one use, a pink tree and pink ornaments, all that stuff. And I forget who it was, but our decorators, we have decorators from Keystone and decorators from Allisonville, and we were at dinner that night, and they were kind of getting excited about, the pink theme because you see it all over. And that's when I brought out my research. Do you remember my research?
Which one? I don't remember your
You
research.
don't. Well, so I had done a little bit of research and got everyone to listen to me at, there was 12 of us at the table. And I said, hey, I've done some research. And according to my sources, the colors for Christmas 2025 will be red and green.
Oh, really?
And that kind of snapped them
What
back in.
made you think of that?
Well,
With your
because
research?
I've seen it time and time again. Back then, you remember the teal trees. And
Teal?
Teal was a color one year.
Okay.
Sort of like
And,
a turquoise ugly.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I
Interesting
realized
choice.
that decorators, because they can get bored with red and green and
Right,
gold,
they get excited.
And I
Mid-bits.
said, hey, temper your enthusiasm. So they'll have a little bit, but it's like I reminded them that the colors of the year are going to be red and green.
Red and green.
For 2025 this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So, Allison, are you prepared with our colors of the year?
Yeah, so like you're saying, each paint company really are the ones that come out with their colors of the year. So we can start with Sherwin-Williams. And they have more of like a color palette, but one of them is Mauve Finiary. And let's see what they say about it.
I have to say, I don't think I've ever chosen a color because it was the color of the year.
I agree.
It's all hype.
It's more of a purpley, I would say, than pink. They don't really have.
So, Terry, how deep into decorating in mauve? When was mauve popular? Do you remember?
I think mauve was popular maybe like in the
80s?
Turquoise came around in the 80s, right? 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
There was a lot of turquoise brought in that southwestern feel. And even to the early 80s. And then it kind of went into the mauve, that purpley color.
But was that part of the country thing? Country was that blue.
Country was that country blue.
Yeah, what was that called? It had a name.
I don't know what name it had, but when we moved into our house in
Everybody did that blue.
2001, it was done in country
Like a
blue.
robin's egg, kind of like light blue.
More
Yeah.
like
Sort
a,
of.
yeah,
It was
kind
sort
of
like
a
that.
Darker.
What I remember when mauve was out, it's when a builder by the name of Rosie Construction was building all the houses.
Rosie.
Building all of them that looked like Taco Bells. They had all the stucco, and that came out.
That southwestern.
And on the southwestern look, and that's when
Yeah.
we got the mauve.
It was very big. It probably was, Denny. It was turquoise and mauve. And
Well, it's
that
a big
southwestern
wedding
feel.
color right now. The last two weddings I was in within the last 5 years were mauve.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So your sweater that you have on today, which nobody can see, is that a mauve or is that
That's
more
pink.
like?
I think that's pink.
That's
Were
pink.
those
All right.
fall weddings, summer weddings, winter weddings? What colors?
Early fall. Yeah.
Early fall. Okay.
All right, so
Sherwin-Williams is
mauve.
mauve.
Sherwin-Williams. What are other things do they have on their palette?
On their palette, they also have a lot of neutrals. So one called Grounded, which is like a brown.
Okay.
A Sun Bleached, which is I would say like a light tan.
So that was the other thing we started seeing with some of the browns and the mauves.
And then so a lot of earth tones is what it
Yeah.
kind of like.
That's what
and
we saw
then
at
I like
home
some of
show.
those, but the
Yeah.
The,
a lot of earth
what is this?
tone.
This pink one, the
Chartreuse?
yeah.
Yes, that one I think is kind of ugly. It's like a weird
Chartreuse
yellow.
has never been a great color.
But
it
they
looks
just threw
like
that in there.
Almost like a, sometimes can turn out to look like a baby diarrhea color.
Honestly, yes. I would say that. But then going on to bear painting, they have they call it Rumors. It's also like a dark red, but it's mauve.
See, that's mauve.
And
now,
then-
what company is that?
Bear.
That's Bear. Okay.
And then we have the Benjamin Moore, which was what Terry was talking about earlier. That's a cinnamon slate.
And that's mauve.
And I will say that does not look.
It looks a little, in person, it looks a more, it really does look more cinnamony. There's more red in it.
I was going to
Because
say, it
in
does
the
not-
color
brown.
card that I looked at, because that's the one I showed on Channel 13, it looked mauve.
Yeah, it looks mauve.
Must
so,
be the thing.
And then Pantone is
Pantones?
Pantone's. It's the color of the year is Mocha Mousse, which is just a light brown. Which
Yeah, but when you actually
Could
look
be
at
turned
when you
into
actually
mauve.
look at the chip, they show it with a dessert, a mousse dessert.
Yeah.
But then they have the chip.
Yeah.
And that looks mauve.
so mauve is the color of the year, people.
Boo. Yes, sir. Yes, Ethan. Oh, you want me to break? I thought you had something to add to the show.
He kind of does.
Can you give me a rundown? We're having a little computer problem, so I see people waiting, but I don't have their names.
He's already texted
I
it
sent
to
you
you.
a text of all those.
You did?
Yeah, you're on your phone.
I
so
can
we thought you
preview
have my
if you'd
phone?
like.
Well, you know what?
His
If you just-
computer's not working.
Yeah.
Um,
If you could just shout it out or something.
yeah,
I don't like to be on my phone.
we got regular.
I don't like to be on my phone while I'm broadcasting.
Okay.
I hear you. So we got regular Jeff.
Okay.
We got the legendary Charles.
Okay.
We got Steve, who's got a Sullivan hardware question.
Oh, Steve will be first.
And then last but not
That's
least,
a little joke.
Yes, we're following.
And who else we have?
Scott with a water heater question.
We are going to get, we're hardcore on the phones when we come back right here on 93 WIBC. Hello.
Hey, Pat.
Saturday's Home and Garden program brought to you in part by the Michaelis Corporation. We're going to talk with Michaela a little later on, actually pretty soon here, I think, 11:30 or so. We'll see what's going on with the Michaelis Corporation. I have to look on my phone to see who is on line one is...
Regular Jeff.
Regular Jeff joins us. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, welcome back, Allison, Terry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Real quick, I am so proud of you, Pat, that you have spelled their names right on their Yeti cups. Not Allison with one L or Terry with a Y. I think that was awesome that you at least looked at it. Reminded me of a story.
I had somebody else do it.
Lilburn, Georgia. I'm 13 years old. I'm going to Stone Mountain Christian School, and I've got a girlfriend named Jill. And our teacher was such a strict teacher. He would never call anybody like Ed. It always had to be Edward. Or Rob had to be Robert. And Jeff always had to be Jeffrey.
Oh,
so
boy.
she gives me this bracelet, and she had taken it and got it engraved. Bless her heart. We're 13. Said Jill loves Jeffrey. But when I read it, it was spelled Geoffrey. And I was like, who is Geoffrey, right?
You were Geoff.
Oh, the English spelling. Oh, bless.
Oh, an English engraver is the only thing I could say that ended up doing that. And when she said Jeffrey, she said, I never looked at it. My dad wouldn't let me have a boyfriend. Turns out it was the first girl I ever kissed in the hallway. A little peck on the lips.
Uh-oh, and you got
called
caught.
Our parents.
Yeah.
Definitely called our parents in, and by God, I had to give that bracelet back to Jill, and I never got to talk to her again.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
That's kind of harsh.
Well, that is
Well,
sad.
it's strict. It was a Christian school. Now, my teacher said, nobody wants a girl that every bull in town's been licking on. And
Oh,
in front of my parents and her parents, that was all
that's
it took.
terrible. Obviously, those kids, those teachers were hatched out of eggs. They weren't teenagers one time.
You know what?
Those are just mean people.
No, I think we could use a few of those teachers right now.
I agree. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
man. Thanks. See you, Jeff.
That's great.
I'm sorry, Joffrey.
That's
Poor
great.
guy.
All right, hold on. Let me power up my phone here and see that we have Steve joining us on the program. Hi, Steve.
Good morning, Pat. Good morning, Allison. Good morning, Terry. And good morning, Denny.
Morning.
Just want to tell you that I'm enjoying my Saturday morning looking out of my Faber B windows that they came out and installed and just really created a great sunroom for me on my porch.
Nice.
So just really great experience with Faber B windows. It's always great to hear
Did you
George
get the
Faber every
type
Saturday morning.
Steve, did you get the type that tilt in so they're real easy to wash and clean?
No, they said I couldn't afford those. Only Pat Sullivan can afford those kind of windows.
I didn't get those either. We have
Nice
a window
touch, Steve.
washer.
So my 2 points. My first point is, Pat, for the sale, that's what my question is about. Do I have to bring a bag or something, or what can I
for
get
the
during the
20%
sale?
off sale?
No,
Yeah.
it's a store-wide because it'd be hard to put a piece of furniture in a bag. So everything is 20% off. People look forward
Even
to this.
paint?
Bait?
Paint.
Oh, paint,
P-A-I-N-T. Bait.
And it was at that sale that I got my big green egg, which I'll be celebrating the 16th anniversary of this year.
Oh, wow.
And you can get all your accessories there at Sullivan Hardware. But I have a question for Allison.
Yeah, go ahead.
Allison, I was very impressed yesterday during the show that you produced from 3 to 7 on WIBC that you allowed Charles to be on the show yesterday.
Oh, I heard him yesterday.
Yeah, he made a...
And we have Charles on the line here today.
So ask Charles about cracklers.
Cracklers?
Yes,
Cracklers.
he
I'm
brought
sure
up the
that-
old cereal crackler.
Okay.
You know, because Denny's the only one old enough to remember that cereal.
Real nice, Steve.
What was it called?
Cracklers.
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 And Pat, one last thing.
Yeah.
I really found your analysis on the tariffs really insightful. You know, pretty good for somebody that was only in the Kelley School of Business for 3 days compared to someone that might have been provided comments with an MBA.
Well, thank you very much. I kind of live it. I live a little bit of tariffs in my life.
Yeah.
So really great analysis, and it's always a great way to spend Saturday morning listening to the show. I don't want to take up any time for Charles the Genius and the wisdom that he'll offer.
Hang on one second.
It's also clackers.
Clackers. I always appreciate Steve because I ask him one question, he always says yes or no. Steve, are we safe?
We are safe. It's one of those that take the opportunity that if something doesn't seem right to alert somebody, because that's the way that you can mitigate some threats. Because as we've seen time and time again, people knew something before something bad might happen, and sometimes
they didn't say something.
And prevent something bad from happening.
You can always call here at the station on this show, and then we could actually vet what you're saying and then decide whether to call Steve.
See you soon, Steve.
All right. And Denny, I think, for next year, since you're already talking about Radiothon, I think Exercise Inc. should offer as a promotion the opportunity to work out with Denny Smith at Exercise Inc.
Whoa,
yeah.
Now that would drum up the money to help our neighbors.
Yep.
Right there.
No bronze beauty here.
Who wouldn't want to spend 20 minutes with Denny Smith working out?
Yes, a sweaty.
Steve, say goodnight, Steve.
Sweaty Denny Smith.
You don't get sweaty because it's 60 degrees. They keep it really, really
That's
cool.
a dream for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. All right, next caller,
and
please.
A nightmare for others.
Next caller. For God's
See you,
sake.
Steve.
We got to take a break now before we come back.
Oh, okay, we'll do that. Michaela joins us on the program. Hi, Michaela.
Hey, good morning. How is everyone today?
We are,
well, we're here.
Be careful, Michaela.
It's touch or go, quite honestly. I mean,
I get it. I get it.
This show is kind of like my
15
grades.
Shades of Mauve. How do you recover from this?
I know.
Right, I'm still lost on what color is mauve anymore. Is it mocha? Is it purple?
I know, and you're not, and you're way too young to be. You haven't been traumatized by mauve like all of us have. So you can't feel the pain that we feel from mauve.
When I grew up, boxes of crowns were 24 crowns, and the other day I saw it was like 128 crowns.
Oh my!
Where'd all the colors come from? So I get it. I love the color of the year, but I can't figure all the different colors of mauve. Let's just go back to the simple color mauve.
Yeah, no kidding.
Michaela, we used to blend every color we liked. If it was too strong, we just mix white with it.
Yeah.
Now they take care of all that for you because you've got all of that fan of colors.
So let's talk about what's going on at Michaelis. And first of all, what is your position at Michaelis?
I am the office manager and also the go-to for everything.
Oh.
Your best friend, Zach Terry, comes to me all the time. If he needs something, I'm the person he goes to.
So you're,
Zach.
and I know there's, I don't know but because it's crawl space, it tends to be a little more men. So do you feel like you're babysitting a bunch of men?
At times, yes, but I make sure that they're well fed. There's always snacks in the office. I try to take out the good coffee, get the Gatorades for them, so they are well fed while they're at work.
Is it like a fraternity house?
Kind of, yeah. There's some areas in the building where us ladies, we just avoid at all costs. That's their area.
Yeah, and you have to remind them where they're going and what time and all that. Yeah, I get it.
On occasion, yep, every now and again.
Yeah. So you guys must be busting it with the snow melting and water, I would guess.
Yes, winter came pretty quick this year. January felt like 100 days, and we had ice, snow. We even had some rain these last few days. And with all of that, it started to create some problems for homeowners and commercial buildings. We went on site for several sprinkler losses. The pipes were freezing and then bursting.
What a mess.
Several sprinkler losses. We had outside plumbing pipes freeze and burst at homes, frozen sump pump discharge lines. So it's been a busy 2 to 3 weeks for Michaelis, but we have been on site for every customer within an hour, sometimes within just a few minutes. And we are stabilizing their home and getting them put back together.
Michaela, we have a new segment, Best New Curse Words Heard from Homeowners. Do you guys keep a list of all the new curse words when they call in?
No, but I'm going to start that on Monday. That's going to be a fun game.
We used to get the doggondest descriptions of things, and then they'd start getting kind of salty in their language. We kept a book of different words that we learned from homeowners.
That's funny.
I love that idea. I will talk with my team. We'll have a little OneNote going. Put down the funniest one.
There you go. All right. So if people are in need, they can call Michaelis. I know you keep a tremendous amount of equipment, dryers, fans, pretty much everything. And you guys don't run. You generally don't run out.
We do not. We do not. We are 24/7, 365 company, and with that, we have to make sure we have all of the equipment to help those customers in their time of need. And you guys know when life happens, Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Hey, don't take my tagline. Hey, Michaela, don't take my tagline. You can't do that.
She just took
that's not.
pulled
that's
the rug right out from underneath.
I'm not sure what script you're reading there.
Michaela rocks.
That's my tag. That's my tag.
Bring her back next
Pat
week.
Sullivan with Michaela, with Michaela's show.
There you go. Hey, thanks for spending a little time with us. We appreciate it.
You guys have a good day.
It's the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-FIX-INDY. That's 844-FIX-INDY. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, after missing, the team is back together. It is time now for the unsponsored Craft Corner.
Hello, everybody.
If you would like to watch us on Facebook, we're on Facebook, Home and Garden, Indiana. And if you are watching Facebook, turn the radio down because we're going to be a little echoey. So welcome to Craft Corner. Back again.
Welcome to Craft Corner. Thank you all so much for watching. Denny will let us know. Pat will let us know.
I've missed you.
I've missed you. They did a great job last week, though. I'll tell you,
Jack
they did a great
and Pat
job.
did a great job. Pat should retire for being an assistant for a bit. It gave me a lot of anxiety, but here we are.
We've got a couple of them for you. I decided to do something just real easy last night that I was just because I was killing some time and crafting. And this is really kind of fun. This is just simply, and I'm not going to do this one for you because we've really got a better one to focus on. This is just one of those styrofoam Christmas trees or cylinders that look like trees. And then you're just going to cut out of felt these different heart shapes.
Oh, that's cute.
And then you just pin them on with a stick pin. And that's it. And then it makes a little Christmas tree for you or a Valentine's Day tree for you. And they kind of look neat in your entryway or someplace. And then this up here, you could put a Dove chocolate, the chocolate hearts. You could put a Dove chocolate heart there and glue it on with your glue gun. You can buy these right now at 50% off of Michael's, all of their Valentine's Day decor and stuff. So cheap stuff. And then it just sticks in. It's pretty simple.
That's cute.
And then you can put it on top of a car, in any kind of base that you want to. But that's just one real quick and easy one. But this one is the one that you found, my friend.
Yes. It's really simple, and they're just little wreaths for your door.
Valentine's Day gifts.
For Valentine's. Yep. Or like just a Valentine's decoration. So you're just going to need three things. You're going to need some of those wire hangers that we all have in our closets. You're going to need some either fabric or old scarves or napkins, whatever we want it to cut up to be the felt of around the wreath, and then some scissors to cut stuff with.
That's it. That's all you're going to need.
Vanessa says, yay, you're back.
Yay, Vanessa. Thank you for watching this morning. So this is the hardest part, I think. And this is, if you have these old wire hangers at home, great. Doesn't matter what color they are. I did find these for $4.99 on a pack of 10, and these are white, so I thought that would be just a nice color, a nice base for the wreath. And then you take it apart. So Allison will show you how she's doing that.
So they just wind up together on the top part of the hanger, so you're just going to unwind it. And I will say the cheaper the hanger, probably the better because it's easier. Otherwise, you may need some pliers, which is what we probably should have done. So.
Susan says, I love Craft Corner. Hello.
Hi, Susan. Susan, is it Susan Choupé?
No, I know Susan Choupé, though.
Yeah. No, not a Susan Choupé?
No, this is Susan Alexander.
Okay. Hi, Susan Alexander.
Yeah.
So you're just going to take your hanger and you're just going to kind of bend it into a heart shape. And then use the hanger part, keep that still at the crook so you can hang it later. And this part, I will say, it took us a minute.
It took us a minute to kind of figure out the heart shape of it. We knew that the hook needed to be at the top.
Well, maybe not getting the heavy-duty hangers.
Yeah, or use some pliers.
Maybe so.
Those are really thick hangers.
They are, but once you get them done, I mean, really, once you just kind of get the feel of how to maneuver them, I found it easier to just straighten it out completely because I was watching Allison and she was trying to do it a different direction. So I knew, okay, there's a different way. And I just straightened it all the way out.
Kathleen loves the idea. Barbara loves you guys. Mary is glad to have you back together.
Thank you.
And Courtney says, I wish the whole show was live, but love Craft Corner.
Oh, isn't that the nicest thing?
Can you imagine our mugs on TV, on screen?
I suggested that before, but I don't think anyone wants to see that.
I do. I think the whole show should be on Facebook Live. I do.
Really?
Or YouTube, streaming YouTube. Look, Denny gets very. We stream on First Day. YouTube.
Do you really?
On YouTube on First Day.
Wow.
Yeah, he loves it apparently. So anyway,
Fisher, he really hates it, and I hate it next. But Kylan loves it, so we just keep doing it. Our producer.
What day is that on?
Sundays.
Oh, the first
11
day.
to 1. Yeah, 11 to 1.
So you bend your hanger into a heart.
Bend it into a heart.
Once you get the hard part done, then you're just going to take some fabric, napkins, scarves, like I said earlier, and just cut them into little strips. And then you're just going to tie little ties and knots around the outer part of the hanger.
That's it. And these strips, you're probably going to make these about maybe 5-6 inches long. I found the longer, I think, the better. So make those strips about 6 inches long. And really, there's no mistakes. I think this is great. As a grandparent or as a parent, you do the heart shape, and then just let the kids tie these on, because I think that will give them something to do for a long time, and they'll like it.
And then you can stack them together, and then it just makes a cute little wreath.
If you can envision right here, this is just full. Like, this would be full, like right here, and this would look really good, don't you think? Like if that was like right there.
Happy Valentine's Day.
So before you finish, I was thinking, with pink being in for Christmas,
yes,
and then you already have red. It seems like if you could just take the heart and make it into a wreath, you could you just make that round into a wreath, and then boom, there you go. You're started on your Christmas decorations.
I suppose you
because pink is supposed to be in.
Pink, yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Anyway, we liked it. We liked this one, and this was an easy craft for you and your kids or grandkids, and
it was fun.
That was fun.
It's kind of relaxing too. You don't really have to think or anything. You can just tie knots.
We're going to finish it. We'll show you how it looks when it's all finished.
Kimmy, it's Kimi, was very excited. She's cute, says Trudy. We missed
Trudy.
You both. You gals add sass and spice to the show. We love you all. Both crafts today are so cute. And that was Maggie and Christy said, great idea. Sandy Alberts is a friend of mine. She's watching. Very cute, says Deborah.
Cute.
There you go. Craft Corner.
I love Valentine's Day. Thank you very much. We're glad you watched today. I hope you like it. Thank you.
See you soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay. All right. We finished our broadcast on Facebook. And now we're just back here with me.
50 people were watching us today.
Wow.
Oh,
thank you, guys.
Thank you. I'm so glad. I think we do better in the winter.
I think we do too.
I think we do.
Nobody's
I think
doing anything.
Right.
There's
Nothing
more
to do.
crafts. Yeah.
Unless they're going to wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tonight, though, isn't it?
Tonight, but they're pre-gaming right now.
They sure are.
Yeah.
And you know what?
With some crafts.
Wrestling World.
Wrestling World?
In one of these areas around the neighborhood here.
Oh, is that right?
It's called Wrestling World. And you can buy all kinds of big shop. You can just shop and shop and shop.
Wow.
Wrestling World.
Do you wrestle the cashiers?
For a better discount?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been there yet. Like to see it.
There you go.
Like one of those belts.
239-9393. We are coming right back with more 93 WIBC. Come on, everybody, sing it together.
Used to rule the world.
Do you guys sing in the shower? Do you sing in the shower? You're being...
Okay, we got it. Little Coldplay sing-along. Yeah.
I like when we have our sing-alongs.
Oh, yeah.
I like to call them hum-alongs.
Yeah, I think they're really popular with our listeners.
I think they like it. They're humming, too.
Why not?
I'll betcha.
239-9393. Let me get my phone and find out who's on the phone because we're having computer problems. Normally, Ethan will text it and it shows up on my screen. And so what I have so far is from Scott, bread pudding recipe number 10 debuts today.
Oh!
Bourbon Reese's chocolate peanut butter bread.
Oh my gosh!
We have got to work on his titles.
Yeah, they're getting long again.
It's more. I keep telling him, it's like, dude, you're giving the recipe. All right, Ethan, who do we have on the phone? You don't even know.
We have Charles and then a man with a tree question.
Okay, is this man with the tree question on one?
It is.
Does he have a name, or is it just called man with a tree?
Hello, sir. What would be your name?
That would be Bob.
It's Bob.
Hey, Bob.
That's an alias.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, we live in a subdivision and have a tree that's planted in our front yard. They planted it only about 8 or 9 feet from the front sidewalk. It's a prospect elm, and I've noticed the roots coming out of that tree headed straight for the sidewalk. And I guess what I'm wondering, it looks like to me that's a problem on its way to happen. I'm wondering if it would be, it's a pretty good sized root. I'm a little hesitant to just cut it off. And I guess what I'm wondering is if I might be better off just to cut the whole thing down and plant a different kind of tree that maybe isn't going to get huge. I really don't think there's room in that front yard. I think they planted some inappropriate trees myself, but that's my question.
So you got a couple things. One, and I think it sounds like you don't like the tree and you're looking for a reason to cut it down, which I don't blame you. Well, it's fine.
Now, listen, he's laughing. Bob knows Pat nailed him.
No, it's fine because I there's some things that I like to go, yeah, it's and I use an excuse to cut some,
So just
for whatever.
kill it.
Yeah, I mean that.
Terry,
it can
you
be.
don't have to say it that way.
It can be it could be a tree. It could be one of my employees. I mean,
not his
you
wife.
come up with an excuse to to get rid of it. But the thing you have to remember about trees are the roots. A lot of trees are going to have roots on the surface. So if that's what's bugging you, like maples are kind of famous for that, and maples are probably one of the best trees. So you might
adjust your thinking.
Not serviceberry, Denny. What's the other one? It's a
hawthorn.
No, there was one that is it the state. What's our state tree?
The tulip.
No, it's
tulip
not that
tree.
one. No, but anyway.
Why don't you like the
thinking about
prospect elm? That's a beautiful
The
tree.
Bradford pear? That's
No,
the one you
God,
hate.
God,
Oh,
no.
heavens,
That's the one
no.
you hate.
That's invasive species.
This is my mind again. But anyways, I'll think of it.
Actually, I don't mind the tree my wife doesn't like. I don't really mind the tree.
Wow. You are so misguided.
the tree
Cut
down.
that son of a down.
Oh my goodness!
Burn it to the ground.
Wait a minute. Did you just say your wife doesn't like the tree? Get
I can hear his wife in the background.
when you get home, get that thing cut down for that poor woman. She's been long
You
suffering.
have to chew through it yourself like a beaver. You get that tree out of the yard.
Yeah.
How big of a tree is it? Is it a big tree?
No, it's not. It's probably about 8 inches in diameter at this point.
Is it possible for you to hit it with the car?
Oh, and get an insurance claim out of it? Oh, nice job, Dan.
I
Okay.
didn't say that. You said that.
You guys are not helping.
I could
at
actually
all.
take it down pretty easily.
Take her down, buddy.
Take it down and then find another tree. But if you can move it a little further away from the sidewalk. I mean, 9 foot's not bad because roots will kind of travel to the least resistance. So
Here's a tree you might like, a Japanese magnolia. Those are
nice.
Those are very pretty. They flower. Allison just raised her hand.
Yes.
Jack Phipps, our friend from Allisonville Nursery, recommends a ginkgo.
Oh, ginkgo is lovely.
Yeah, that's the
Can you
oldest
ask
of the
Jack what
trees.
the other tree variety that's very popular? What I'm thinking of.
Bob, while they're
tree
looking
Pat's thinking
while they're looking that up, Bob, the ginkgo is the oldest living tree that we have found as a fossil. So it was back in prehistoric times too. It's it yellows out.
Oh, hey, Denny,
And
tell
you
us about that when you found it.
And you want to make sure you get the male variety. If you go with ginkgo, ask for a male because the females, when they flower, it really is a pretty. Terry, I brought some fruit in for Terry this year, and she wouldn't talk to me.
Smells like dog poop.
It
does.
smells
It was
bad.
awful.
It smells bad.
So also known as the maidenhair tree.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, those get pretty good size, too. I'd like to have something maybe didn't get more than about 25 or 30 foot tall.
That's a ginkgo.
Well, this tree that I have for you, ginkgo would be good, and this tree
Choke cherry?
is going to be is going to be really good. And when you find out, you're going to go, "Whoa, he's a genius!" So I'm going to think
Is it
about.
a common tree you're
Yes,
thinking
it's
of?
very common.
Yeah, Bob, I think you'd like the Japanese magnolia.
Very
Do a
common.
Google search
it's
on
like,
Japanese
it's like,
magnolia.
But it's not
it's
a
like
maple.
Not
It's
maple,
not
but
a
it
tulip.
might as well.
Not a
Might as well be
sycamore.
a.
You can't remember stuff.
I know. It's mainly when I'm around you.
What was the name of the movie you went to see with Bob Dylan?
Suspect, custom, unknown, complete unknown.
There you go.
That's a dumb name for that.
It is a dumb name.
It is a dumb
It's
name.
called Bob Dylan.
That's what I mean. When we went to the ticket counter, it's like neither
the
Beth.
movies.
It's like we go Bob Dylan movie.
Yeah. I think
Sorry,
a lot of people
Bob.
are doing that.
Yeah, that's a really complete
Redbud?
unknown. Redbud, thank you.
I tell you, one of the
Jeez, there's some nice Redbuds.
the best store to
Ooh, we
do
finally
tree
got
shopping
there.
is Allisonville at about 115th and Allisonville Road. That Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. They really do have great varietals there.
So look for a ginkgo redbud tree. There's some nice medium-sized trees that are beautiful.
What's the name of that redbud? It's a new variety of redbud.
Is Allisonville open today?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Ask for Jack.
Okay.
Ask for Jack.
Ask for Jack. Okay. But I'm just back to the other tree. If I cut that root, it's probably going to do the tree in.
Yeah,
Probably.
Well, I mean, it'll
slow it down.
definitely kill like one segment of it.
Yeah.
So
okay.
get it over with. Your wife hates it.
Yeah.
What kind of man are you, anyways?
Whoa, that
Get out the chainsaw.
Get out the chainsaw.
Hey,
That's
thanks,
right.
guys. Appreciate it.
See you,
All right,
Bob.
man. Wait, why didn't he say that his wife didn't like it
I
right
know.
off
You
the
should
bat?
start
He's
with
trying
that.
not to throw him
Right,
under the bus.
He wasn't throwing her under the bus. He's trying to please her. That's right.
Redbud.
He was being sweet.
Redbud.
Redbud.
Yeah, there's a new one, like Sunset, maybe. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
What makes it so beautiful?
The color. The color when it comes out is kind of a.
What color?
It's kind of a bronzy gold. Comes out, and then the leaves are just beautiful
Bronze
in
beauty?
the fall. Yeah.
Bronze beauty.
Sunset. I'll come up with. What was the name of it? Yeah.
So we made
Redbud.
Redbuds.
We made it through the third hour, Pat. I didn't think
Did
we
we
were going
make it?
I think so.
I don't
by the
know.
skin
I
of our
feel like
teeth.
we're going to limp for another 9
Is that
seconds
right?
here.
Okay, well, at least he's looking at the clock.
Oh.
Just want to apologize to everyone.
Adios. Say goodnight, Grace.
We may be back. 93 WIBC.
Are you ready to
Rumble!
Got to be careful saying that. Are we ready?
It's the
when you
big
say-
Rumble
It's a
tomorrow.
Royal Rumble tonight?
Yeah, the one thing.
Oh,
was-
today is Saturday. They had today Saturday. So the last night was
The Friday Slam Down something.
SmackDown.
Smackdown. It's close.
That was close.
So are we thinking that John Cena is going to have a big part in this tonight?
What did you just say?
John Cena? Is that
Cena.
Cena?
Yes.
I was trying to be cool. We just let it, but none of our listeners would have known. You didn't have to correct me like that.
So you said John Cena.
But
Cena?
Pat, that's what you do to everybody.
Cena? I know.
You can't see me.
That's what he says. And
Little
that's what he does
hand
with his
movement in
hands.
the
See, you
face,
can't
you know?
see me. Got it. So he's thinking about retiring
Yeah, he's
Because
more of
he's
an
like-
actor now.
because he's like 77.
Yeah,
John
sure.
Cena, 77?
I
No
think so.
way.
I think so.
No.
No way.
He's 77 in WWE world,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he
But
could still.
he is he's really 47.
I'm going to say.
47?
Yeah.
I will say that is
He's hefty. Remember, he does the hefty commercials.
I don't know any of that.
He's a good-looking man.
He's a good-looking
he
man.
is. He was in a
Terry,
new movie
what about
recently
me?
that
I'm
was
right
really good.
here.
You're a good-looking man,
Yeah,
Well-
you're just patronizing me. I
No.
can feel it.
but he's a good-looking man.
I only
Sasha comes in and starts laughing. Real nice, Sash.
PJ was a big wrestler fan, so I knew John from PJ.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. He loved the wrestling. My sons would always take him to all the wrestling events
Oh, that's
in
cool.
town. So
That's cool.
he would have loved this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's more to come.
That's what I hear.
There's
Yeah.
like 2 more shows after this one coming up throughout the year.
Yeah, WrestleMania, and then what's the other one that's coming?
WrestleMania, isn't that the big one?
There's Royal Rumble.
SummerSlam, I
yes.
think. Yeah,
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Yep.
So why are we blessed with all these all of a sudden?
Well, they say we're a pretty good spot for obviously any kind of an event, but they say that we've got a pretty good like wrestling nation here.
Yeah,
got
I think
good
it's like a Midwest
transportation.
thing.
And the Sports Corp, Indiana Sports Corp made an 8-year deal with him recently.
Oh, wow.
So it's
For
good.
the state. So they'll go up to Fort Wayne
Yeah.
and they'll go to Evansville.
That's great.
Well, I will say the great thing, just I don't have to travel a lot, but for shows like Atlanta is pretty good, but there's not enough restaurants around where the
The convention center
convention
type area.
thing, yeah, or it's called America's Mart. But that's what Indy has. Like when we go to, like we're going to Orlando and where the convention, there's some stuff around, but it's like it doesn't feel real walkable because it's like a lot of really busy roads to try to get across and stuff. So there's just something about Indy. It's like it's all right here.
The design, I mean, especially
there's so many
with
restaurants.
so many now tunnels that you can, and walkways, covered walkways through the winter time. So it really is such an easy access to so much. And look at all more hotels are popping up.
Great variety of restaurants. I mean, every type
Truly.
of restaurant. But and tomorrow, now listen, we're going to have a wrestler in studio tomorrow, Terry. We've got Mondo.
Yeah,
the
Mondo
amazing
will be here.
Mondo will be coming in.
He was
Mega
on with
Mondo.
Hammer and Nigel yesterday, and he is, he's a really good reporter. He's the guy you send out truly to get sound because he has no fear.
Will you tell
And no
everyone
matter
who
what it
Mondo is?
Oh,
The
it's
Kyle Wells.
Kyle Wells.
He used to be the producer before
Right.
Allison
And,
for Hammer and Nigel.
Produced a lot of shows here.
A big wrestling fan. He wrestles himself. He's fun. A lot of energy.
Tons of energy.
A
and
lot
he's
of
just,
energy.
There you go.
Just a very unique individual.
So, but I do think, and I think that like the Do It Best thing, one of our shows now is away, and then one is in Indy. They used to have both in Indy, and so they thought they would experiment with, different places, and like they went to Houston and hated it. They're going back to Orlando for the second time, but I think the attraction there is they always like in March they're going to rent out Universal
Studios.
one of the amusement park, one section of the Harry Potter section.
Oh, wow.
So our members get it from 9 until 11 at night. So I think that's the attraction there. But as far as kind of moving around, there's just something about it. Wouldn't surprise me if they brought that show back to Indy again.
Number one convention site. What is it? Do you know what it is?
Number one convention? Is it in? Is it Las Vegas?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Because they have hotel rooms, they have entertainment, they have great restaurants, and they got gambling.
And hookers.
And don't forget the hookers.
Well, it's a convention, didn't you say? That's
Yeah.
They got to work too.
bless me, Father, for I've sinned again.
Yeah, it's been 7
When
months
I
since my
called the
last confession.
conventioneers craved hooker participants.
Did you ever hear Jimmy Buffett do his "Bless Me, Father, I've sinned"?
No.
He goes, "Bless me, Father, I've sinned." He says, "It's been 27 years since my last confession."
Yeah.
He really does make it funny. Oh, I miss him.
All right, let's take somebody on. Should we take Charles? He's been on since last week.
He's got a 2-minute warning. Go for it.
You ready?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls,
the mouth of the West Side, Ben Davis alum,
Charles the Genius.
No, self-proclaimed Mr. Know. I got to talk fast because I want to first off, God bless all of you and your families and everybody out there, listeners, and a super early Valentine's Day to all the ladies there at the station. Of course, Kylan and of course Sasha, and this wrestling stuff reminded me back when we had a charity event when I was younger, back in Ben Davis, the greatest school on earth. And I had to take on Darla the Daredevil woman for 2 hour free-fall match. I almost won. First, she got me in a half Nelson. Then it was in a full Nelson. And wouldn't you know it, she pulled an Ozzy Nelson on me. Oh, it's terrible. The other thing was, you mentioned, is this thing on? No.
Yeah, it's
you
on.
Mentioned you mentioned earlier about seating arrangements at the theaters, and Sasha mentioned her, preference.
Yeah.
In the old days, being a movie nut since grade school almost, give or take a week, always would get middle section, middle row, middle seats because that's your best balance in any major theater, except for these are shorter ones, don't forget them. But your best balance with the sound system, screen-wise, as you move forward, your angle of your eyes are sort. You mentioned REM. Well, you'd be SOL. That's system offline, of course. If you get the farther front you go,
Sure
to the
it
screen,
is.
you're angling your head.
Right.
But what we used to do, what brought that on, and who hasn't unfortunately done it? Well, if a couple doesn't ride with you, or you're with another couple, and you say, "Well, we'll meet you in the lobby." Anything I could feel my teeth gritting when you'd see people going on in. I go, where are we going to sit? So after that was the call of it. Anybody was going to meet us, I'd say middle section, middle rows. We'll have the seats saved for you.
Gotcha.
And of course, knowing all the managers and all the different theaters way back in the Stone Age, one day some fools actually came in and said, "Are those 2 seats taken?" And they said, "Yeah." Well, there's nobody sitting there. So they called an usher. Usher came down the aisle, flashed the light over, and of course my nickname is Butch too. That's many aliases here. Start my own phone book.
Wow.
And he goes, "Oh, it's you." He says, "Go on." "Oh, But the best sound system I've ever heard in my life, minus IMAX, was a long gone Eastwood Theater. We're back in 77, Sunset Strip. No, that's the old song. May 25th was when the first showing of Star Wars.
That's where I saw Star Wars at the
70
Eastwood.
millimeter.
Wow. Yep.
Gigantic. The screen system, it would defy description. But they had a policy, and of course now some of the theaters have returned it, with the giant popcorn buckets. You know, the one that you can't even put both hands around almost. Sure. And the deal was, if you emptied a bucket during the show, you could go back and get another. Well, we were sitting down, people were coming in, and this guy almost fell over something, and it was one of them, must have been somebody left from the previous showing. This guy, I swear to you, I want to ruin your appetites, it's lunchtime, stood up and says, let's see what goes on. Took a handkerchief and wiped out the bucket and told one of his kids to go back up to the concession stand and see if they fill it up. But Eastwood Theater was the most gigantic as far as sound. Now, Lucas was never here, but he had been told, I guess, second, third hand, that was the best place for the Midwest. When we went, we saw it several times over the years when it first came out. You'd see plates from all over this, just like probably downtown here, from all over, for the wrestling deal.
Okay, Charles, let me interrupt you. Last quick question I would like to ask. Do you, as a movie buff, do you still go to the theaters, or do you watch everything at home?
Oh, no. A big screen. But first off, let's put it this way. My early Christmas is coming up. I've been watching Academy Awards since back in the 50s when I was a grade schooler and had to stay up and go to school the next day. The junk that's been out for the last 10 years, I haven't seen anything worth the electricity to go see. But if you see a movie, I don't care the worst or the best or whatever, you got to have a big screen. No television, no whatever electronics you want to put the doggone thing. It doesn't get the capacity of the middle section, middle
section.
Seats.
There you go. All right, Charles the Genius. Thank you, Charles. There you go. I got a question, so I thought that was...
You almost got an answer.
I did get an answer. You said absolutely.
He can pivot better
I
than anybody
feel the same way.
Do you?
All right, 239-9393. When we come back, we have something really very special planned for you.
You weren't going to believe it.
I know. I am so sorry.
What's the matter?
That surprise was for next week.
Oh, that's right. And the surprise, actually, you won't even be in town for.
I know. That's the surprise. I'm not going to be here next week.
That's a surprise?
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be happy for all of you and some of our listeners.
We like doing remotes with you.
We love doing remotes with you.
It's so fun.
We'll be at Grand Park. It'll be fun.
And I'm going to be in Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
We're going to Disney World on Monday.
Fun.
Who's going?
Disney World.
Well, I believe there's...
Did Andrew set this up?
12 of us.
Is there 12?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Did Andrew set it up? Because it'll be
Andrew.
a smooth operation if Andrew did that.
Andrew had a part in it, and so we're all flying down. So it is pretty much everyone except for our older Becky has to stay and run the store, and our older grandchildren who all came down in January, early January.
That's when you went out to the Everglades. And you went swamp.
That's right. When we went to the swamp buggy.
I can't see.
But this one will be our preschool children. So, ages. Fun. The oldest will be 4, and then 2, and then 2.
Oh, what a great!
And then
age.
3 months.
Oh,
and then
great
3
age.
months.
Disney will be fun.
Oh, I think the 3-month-olds are going to
love
it.
You're gonna get some cute pictures, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for you.
My grandson, new grandson Patty, will be flipping everybody off.
One of my favorite
I
pictures.
didn't even see, like, they were showing, what did you want? Are you waving at me? Okay.
Oh.
Sometimes out of the corner of my eye, Ethan sits to my left, and I see movement, and I think, well, what is it now, boy? So, all right, nothing's going on. So they were showing the kids getting ready in their swimsuits and stuff. So he has these blue shorts on. I thought it was funny. Well, I did not realize... he is flipping the bird.
This is a picture of Pat's newest grandson, and it was passed out to us at the Home and Garden Show. And it's this cute little boy, and he's doing what?
He's flipping the bird.
He's flipping the bird. And so what Pat says is he sends it out to the whole team, and he says, "My grandson has a message for Denny." which I thought was cute.
Well,
It is cute.
I did, and I said that because, and this kind of goes back to the difference between when I went to school in the 70s and today. So Denny always likes to throw. I had a junior year picture where my eyes were closed. Completely closed.
And I'm still
But in those
confused how he
days,
got a picture of you.
but in those days, it's like
They didn't
you
do
get
retakes.
no,
That was it.
there's
You
no
got the one
retakes.
take and you were done.
It's like boom, they're putting you in there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that today?
Oh,
Oh
my
my
gosh.
gosh.
Parents would be.
Parents would go crazy.
Oh, they'd go crazy if their kid had their
So
eyes
I've
shut.
lived a life of having this.
What year was that?
I was I was a junior. Well, I could have been a sophomore. So
Allison,
I don't know, 76.
Can we
something
post
like
that on Facebook so people can enjoy this?
If Pat wants.
I don't. Trust me. I do not care.
The best picture was
Denny likes to think that I care, so he posts it all the time.
No, just for friends. I don't
Yeah.
post. I've never posted on.
Where'd you find that picture? Dan?
Pat sent it to me.
Oh, Pat's. You
Oh
said
no,
you
I
found
take it back. Bob Richards sent that to me. Pat, there's a frizzy-haired picture of Bob Richards that somebody got us.
Bobby Richards used to be a big shot here.
Yeah, he was a
And he was such a punk.
Hey, he's my
No,
friend.
he wasn't a punk.
He wasn't
but
a punk.
It's like, of all things, he was a sophomore when I was a senior, and Bobby Richards ends up being my boss. And it's like,
Pat,
really?
99 times out of 100, a jock is going to end up working for a nerd. I'm just telling you.
He was an athlete. He was a cross-country runner.
He was a better nerd.
Whatever.
Whatever.
All right, where are we with
I
this
know we
segment?
got lots
you guys
of
ready
calls
for calls?
here. Grab some calls here.
All right,
Bill.
let me. We're having computer problems, so let me get out my. Ethan, why don't you just introduce everybody, and you could say, "Hey, joining us on the phone is like kind of like that."
He doesn't remember.
You don't? Do you not write them down?
Pick a number. Who's on one?
We're still actively getting them. I would take one, though, since they are the only ones ready right now.
And what is their name?
It is, I believe, Bonnie.
Oh, it's Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's Bonnie.
See, this is why I don't like introducing them. 'Cause my name's wrong.
Bonnie was the
doing
one
your
that
best.
Bonnie.
didn't like the music. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. Now,
Hi,
you
Bonnie.
boys settle down
Yes.
because if you don't know, I'm going to have to come down there and straighten you two out.
Whoa! Eat
Wow.
your Wheaties, Bonnie.
Pardon?
Eat your crackles or your Wheaties.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wheaties. Okay. About the redbud trees, I have those. They drop so many seeds. I would not recommend them
Ooh.
unless you got a seedless type.
They
or
are
something.
literally one of the most popular trees in the city.
Yeah, but
I
if they're
know,
dropping
but they
seeds
drop a
and
lot
dirty,
of
then
junk.
I don't want to mess with
They're
seeds.
Never-
Every flower is a seed,
She-
people.
she's lying.
Every flower.
She's not lying.
No.
I think
She's
she's
lying.
telling the truth. You're trying to sell a
Bonnie?
$100 tree.
She's lying.
No, she's not lying. She's just grouchy.
She's lying.
She doesn't like
She's
seed
telling
pods.
the truth. People need to know when you buy a tree
You know
and it's
what?
going to be drop stuff all over the
Her
place.
family, you know what her family does?
What?
They grow maples.
There you go. Now, my other question, when is Remembering Rita?
Would you say that again?
Well,
When is Remembering Rita?
Oh, when is Remembering Rita?
Oh,
That's in
Remembering
June.
Rita.
that's a question for
That's in-
Allison.
Yeah, that's
in June.
Yeah, that's a fundraiser we do for the Alzheimer's Association in honor of Pat's mom, and that's early June.
Okay, early June?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But now that I remembered
It
my
was
mom never
wonderful.
came to my football games. Oh, well.
Wow.
Too late now.
Oh,
We're
well.
gonna change-
Yeah,
right
oh,
now the
well.
name.
I just hope you have the green beans there because they were fabulous.
Oh,
They're
man,
so
were they
good.
ever.
Who's Green Bean? That's your
Yes.
boys. That's Andrew. Is that Andrew's recipe?
Joe.
Joe?
Joe. No,
Joe's recipe.
the only green beans that Andrew has ever had, he's ordered at a restaurant. Trust me.
Bonnie, good to talk to you.
God bless you all.
All right,
Yeah.
see you, Bonnie.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
She's a maple grower.
I've never heard anybody not like a redbud. I mean, they really are gorgeous with those purple flowers.
Well, what kind of stuff are they dropping?
There's the seed pods. They're
And
about
when
the
does
size
that
of your-
happen?
She's lying.
in the fall, but they're about the size of your little finger. They're
And
not
and you got to remember there is hundreds of varieties of redbud.
right.
She's a big liar.
She's
Oh,
not a
my
big
gosh.
liar. Are you still on here, Bonnie?
No,
No.
No.
Okay.
I put her on hold so she couldn't fight back.
That's how you fight.
Thanks for the kolaches.
Oh, you
Aren't they
bet.
good?
Um,
So good.
Why don't we go ahead and take caller number 2?
All right, ready?
Ready?
Welcome, caller number 2. Who's this?
You got to hit the button.
Me? I thought you did that.
No. You
what do
get
you-
mad at me when I touch the buttons.
Well, that's true. Caller number 2. Who's this?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Jeff in San Francisco.
Oh, hey, Jeff.
San Francisco.
Hey, I actually sat in on your show a couple years ago. I don't know if you remember. I came to visit you guys, and Denny had me on the show, and it was a blast.
Oh, yeah. Was that? Did you come in for the race? Is that when we saw you?
No, I came in to see Purdue play Iowa, and I just drove down from Lafayette just to see you guys, and then I ran into you walking through the store, Pat, and then introduced me to Denny. He put me on air probably for the best segment you probably ever had.
Probably so. You know what?
Easily.
We still talk about it.
He's so humble.
No, I know you do.
We do appreciate.
I got 3 real quick things to say. First, Pat, I'd like to thank you for your ministry.
Oh,
I think you are a saint for the state of Indiana.
Dear God, what's the matter with this man?
Yeah,
That's so sweet.
He's from San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not that. But
did you vote for Nancy? Did you vote for Nancy Pelosi?
I have to keep my views private out here. Otherwise
I bet you do if you're from Indiana.
Yeah. Second thing is, I'm kind of worried about Terry Stacy if she's actually from Indiana.
What do you mean? I am. I'm a Hoosier, born and bred.
What's on top of a house? What do you call that?
The roof.
How do you say it, Pat?
Roof.
The roof.
It's roof.
Oh, it's
from Indiana,
rough.
you say roof.
Oh,
when you do those roofing ads and you're saying roof, it makes me wonder because people from Indiana say roof.
That's
wow.
right.
Okay, so how do you say the hard stuff
So you
that
think
makes? No, wait a minute. The hard stuff that makes our porches and our sidewalks. What's that called?
The concrete?
No. Well, what's it made out of?
He wants you to say cement.
Cement?
Or instead of cement.
Oh, I say cement.
Yeah, I know you do.
Is that wrong?
You're working
You
for...
also say social instead of social.
Social?
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I say social? I say social?
Boy.
Like
Where do you see
social?
movies?
Like social security.
Where do you see movies?
Social security?
At the theater?
I noticed
I
that
think
in your
maybe
commercial the other
somebody's
day.
hearing is starting to go away because her headphones might be up too loud, and now she's one of us.
Oh, she's one of us.
Or it's Terry's
last
AI.
thing real quick.
All right.
Wait.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Terry, he wants to know where you go to see a movie.
I go to the theater.
All right.
You are from Indiana.
Okay,
I
Jeff
shop
from
at the
San
Kroger's, and
Jeff from San Francisco. You got one more. What's up?
There's always
One
an
more.
S.
You were talking about what's average snowfall in Indiana every year?
Yeah.
It was like 18 inches a year, right?
Correct.
Close.
So out here in the Sierra Nevada, there's a ski resort called Kirkwood. Guess what its average snowfall per year is?
Is that close to Donner Pass?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say 58 inches, 60 inches.
Okay. It's 376 inches a year.
Oh, my gosh. How do they keep the roads open?
There are snow plows that you have never seen, like tractors like with giant snow blowers on them. Like that, it's incredible.
Wow, I thought
it's really cool.
They use those on railroads a lot. They put them on the biggest engine they've got.
Have they gotten a fair amount of snow this year?
300 inches?
Yeah, that's average. It's like one of the highest in North America at that place. Actually, it's raining in San Francisco right now, which means it's going to be snowing up there this afternoon. And they've gotten a decent amount, but not enough this year. We're kind of half in a drought still. But
do you kind of love a rainy day in San Francisco?
I love a rainy day.
Yeah,
I think I would.
Cool.
I would.
It's freezing here. It's like 55. I don't know how we're going to deal with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So did
I think
work,
we've heard enough of you.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Did work
you.
take you out there? Your love life? Why did you go out there?
I went to Purdue. I grew up in Crawfordsville. I went to visit a friend at Georgetown University, and I met a California girl and fell in love with her, and she was from Monterey.
Oh, Monterey's cool.
Oh.
It is. And so I ended up following her to California. And now we're divorced, so it didn't work.
Yeah, you know what? I was just going to ask, are you still with that California girl?
No, but we got 3 kids. 2 are at Purdue right now.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow,
that's
thanks
cool.
for sending them back.
Yeah, no, that was awesome they could get in there. So, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share that stuff.
All right,
with you.
so one last question before you go. So your kids that grew up did they grow up in San Francisco?
So, yeah, born here, raised here. They're natives.
Okay, so they're raised in San Francisco. How did they take to Purdue life?
They've been going back to Indiana since they were little kids, right? Every summer, and staying with my parents. I just leave them there for like a month.
Okay.
So they know the campus. Both of them said, "I'm not going to Purdue, Dad. I know this. I want to go somewhere new." But it ended up being the best school they got into.
Okay.
Wow.
So they're like, "Okay, we'll go." And my daughter's in the business and engineering school. She's just made the dean's list, which I'm really proud of.
Oh, great. Good for her.
So yeah, no, it's just.
But they like it.
And both my parents were there. Except for when it was 0 degrees. They're not really used to that.
True, and it is nice to have family members around too.
Yes.
So
yeah, Grandma's across town and over in Lafayette. So yeah, it's cool.
Very cool. All right, man. It's great to
Jeff,
talk to you
good
again.
Thanks for calling all the way from San Francisco.
All right, see you, man.
Bye.
Bye.
My goodness.
I wonder if he used the 1-800 number. Remember when we used to do that? Do you have a Watts line I can call in on?
Oh
I don't
my
want to have
gosh.
to pay that.
A Watts line.
A Watts line.
It was 800-571-WIBC.
Sometimes we would call a vendor, and then they would call us back on the Watts line.
They did. I
So we didn't have to pay for that.
When I first got on radio, you told me, I said, so how do you announce the station? You said 1070 AM, tattoo it on your ASS. And then 2 years later, we changed to 93.1. So I've still got this tattoo, and I don't know what to do with it.
Do you remember the 800 number on WIBC?
571 WIBC.
Yeah, 800-571-W. Does that still work?
I think it does.
Really?
I think. I could be wrong,
I'm
but I
betting
think
not.
it still works.
I'm betting not.
Coming right back with more 90.
Hello.
Saturday's Home and Garden Program brought to you in part by the Michaelis Corporation. Water storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-FIX-INDY. Should have had that mic on, man. That was your time, Ethan.
I know.
I was going to let
so
you finish
excited,
that, dude.
844-FIX-INDY. Next week, we're going to be at the Suburban Indy Home and Outdoor Living Show. It's going to be at Grand Park. We'll be there from 9 to 1. Come by and see us. And the tickets are really pretty reasonable. It's $7 pre-purchase at the door. It's $10. And it's a great show. They have actually added booths to last year, Pat. And remember when we saw the metal palm tree that had the shower and stuff? That's the type of stuff. It's just really unique stuff.
That was really cool.
It was.
Almost more commercial, but I don't know, man, if you could swing it.
$7 is a good deal online, and, over 200 exhibitors. And, it's fun stuff.
Yep.
They'll talk to you. They're all sorts of booths and everything. So it's a good place, whether it's the patio, plant market. They got Kids Day on Sunday. We're going to be there on Saturday, but they took over a bigger part of Grand Park this year.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we were going to talk, Allison, we talked about colors. The other thing I want to talk about a little bit was lawn care, the start, because people kind of get excited.
Oh, yeah, they're itching.
They're itching.
I got some pictures of snow mold, and we haven't seen snow mold on grass for a long time.
We have not.
Mold?
Snow mold, where your dog goes to the bathroom on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And a big snow cover. A heavy nitrogen, which is what you get from the dog pee, and then a heavy snow cover that freezes. It promotes snow mold. So you might want to get aggressive with your, pre-treatments of
insecticides or fungicides. Yep.
Yeah.
So, like all of our fertilizer and programs have started to come in. Actually, they're pretty well stacked up at Keystone.
Will that be part of the 20% off sale?
It is.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. But people will start. I think people start to see, and Dick Crum used to always say, you would see a landscape truck, and they're putting down fertilizer, and it's too early. People put that stuff down too early. Because the first step is a crabgrass control and fertilizer. So crabgrass control you get about 10 to 12 weeks of control.
Don't do that till April.
Find this math here. 10 to 12 weeks of control. The crabgrass generally in Indianapolis will start germinating really late April, early May. So, and it will continue depending on the moisture that we get into early June. So if you put it down in, say, like early March, because we have a beautiful day, things are greening up, and you put that down, we'll start the clock of 10 weeks from there.
And it's still germinating in June when your stuff is starting to
running
peter
out of control.
Right.
So you're wasting your control. So you always put that down in the second to third week of April. And we always say that. Now, occasionally there is a year where it's really warm. We'll say, hey, you know what? Go ahead and get that down now. Sometimes when it's really cold, it's like push that back, make it the end of April.
Is the primary ingredient still pendimethalin? Is that still what the pre-emergents are?
Yeah, pendimethalin, but there is other that slips my name or mind right now that other companies use.
Everybody always
the other
said-
one. The reason I like the other one is because it's not.
It doesn't yellow.
stain.
Yeah, it always said that
It's
when
Dimension, called Dimension.
You can always find the pendimethalin or you can find the pre-emergent in the hardware store because all you have to do is look at the tile or the floor and it's going to be yellow.
Yep.
So it stains yellow.
So that would be then. And then if you feel like your lawn was deficient in fertilizer from the fall, because we always recommend 2 applications in the fall, and you haven't, if you didn't do it, maybe you would want to put down just an application of straight fertilizer in early March, and then make your second step, the crabgrass pre-emergent, in the 2nd or 3rd week of April.
Great
and
idea.
Then they generally, if you're following a step program, they're going to say fertilizer and weed killer in May, and I would say no. If you're going to use weed killer, use a spray. Use a liquid so that you're not spreading weed killer over everything. You go out and take your squirt bottle, and then that allows you to come back time and time again, week after week, for some of the tough weeds. But your lawn doesn't need, it needs 1 application, unless it was deficient going into the season where you might put 2 applications. 1 application in the spring, 1 in the summer, and the most important, 2 in the fall. The experts will tell you, and this is, when I say experts,
I agree.
Read into this, the people that aren't selling fertilizer, the extension services, number 1 time in the Midwest to fertilize your lawn is September. And most people don't do that because we're tired of our lawns in September.
And we're afraid we're going to promote growth, but it goes right to the roots because all the nutrients and stuff are going down to the roots at that point. So
that is right.
Should be safe.
So there you go. So just spray your weed killer on and just use good common sense. And people always say, is there organic? Yeah, there's organic fertilizers.
Good luck.
Good luck is right.
Well, I tell you what, Jonathan
Good
Green
luck.
changed my thoughts on that because they did a biological approach with, I think it was called actomycetes, where they actually taught the microbes to nourish the soil. And Jonathan Green was
that was only the smart microbes.
That was a smart.
A lot of them
microbe,
don't make the cut.
But usually we're just pounding them with these inorganic fertilizers, and it overwhelms them. So Jonathan Green, I'm a big fan of.
I like their soil foods.
Yeah,
I like all their products, but the soil foods, love your soil.
It's a little bit more expensive, but you get more bang for your buck.
What do you want?
They're just doing the YMCA.
Which is,
I think Terry was
playing. getting
bored.
Ethan gets
I
liquored
wasn't.
up in the second
I wasn't at
hour,
all.
and it starts to really glow on him. I mean, he's probably at a 2.0. Oh, do we do the breathalyzers, between 3rd hour and 4th hour?
Yeah.
I do have a question.
Yes.
So it is skunk mating season,
I think we all know that.
and we have a lot of skunks.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, maybe about Wednesday, off the front porch, smelled the skunk. Second day, smelled the skunk. Third day, tried to figure out where the skunk had been.
Right.
And the skunk, it appears to be, if I follow my nose, it has sprayed on our probably very porous stone
Oh, Lord.
on the house, in the front porch. And so how do you get rid of that smell?
You spray it with tomato juice.
No, that's
from
baloney.
the Brady Bunch. No,
I know, from the Brady
that's from
Bunch. Are you calling the Brady Bunch liars?
Terry,
She's
try.
questioning them.
I would try one of 2 things. I
Okay,
would try.
let me take a note.
I would try a really good apple cider vinegar first, just
Oh.
with a spray bottle. If that doesn't work, I would spray it with a
Look at Greg Brady over there.
No, and then I would spray it with ammonia. And that does 2 things. One, it kills the smell, but it'll also keep the skunks away from doing it again.
Okay, so start with your apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar
and then
in
put
a
a
spray
little
bottle.
ammonia and just
No,
spray
No,
ammonia.
don't mix them.
Don't mix
Oh,
them.
you mix them.
No,
No.
you
Oh, no.
do not mix them.
No.
Look at, read my lips. No,
thought-
just one
okay.
at a time. But, the male skunks are like that. They're just like male dogs. They like to pee on the same
Yeah.
fire hydrant.
Marking
and
their spot.
They're marking their spots. So you got to.
So you don't think the skunk felt threatened by a raccoon or something?
Maybe.
No.
But something has happened where this perhaps, and maybe he keeps coming back and spraying in this spot. Like Denny said, keep marking that spot.
What is it about Hancock County? Looking
But-
for Nookie,
Hey.
skunk Nookie in Hancock County.
Do you think it's time to trap them and kill them?
No!
They're precious creatures.
Yeah, and they eat mice.
They're so cute.
They are so precious. They are so cute. And but I know right now is mating season, so they're out in full force. We see them everywhere walking the dog.
What was the skunk on the cartoon that was kind of
Pepe Le
Pepe
Pew.
Le Pew.
Yeah, you
He
can't
was
do that.
You
fantastic.
talk about mating.
Yeah,
He was mating.
How long
He was
has it
mating
been
everything.
since you've seen a
Cats,
Pepe Le
dogs.
Pew?
He was mating
That's
everything.
you know what
Yeah.
that's how quite honestly I learned about the birds and the bees.
right?
From
Was
Pepe-
from Pepe Le Pew.
Can you imagine what the DEI people think of Pepe Le Pew now? There's no
my
way that's
gosh.
getting past it.
No.
Or was
There's a lot
that
of
Warner?
those that
Was
are
that
gone.
Warner Brothers?
Speedy Gonzalez is gone.
Gosh, Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite
you
Sam.
can't have the pistol shooting Yosemite Sam anymore. And
No.
even Elmer Fudd. I thought I saw it, put it down.
Oh, he had
you
a
know.
shotgun all the
Yeah,
time.
a shotgun. You know.
And shooting it at
Yeah,
bugs.
you know. I mean, they've taken away
All the
who was
fun
smoking
stuff.
a pipe all the time. Was it Santa? Yeah, Santa was smoking always. When I was growing up, Santa always had a pipe.
Oh, in
And-
Rudolph?
and-
Like
and
that's
all anywhere you saw
Sam
Santa.
Sam the Snowman?
Sam, a lot of snowmen had pipes.
I thought it was Frosty the Snowman. Sam the Snowman.
Well, this
from
was in
Rudolph.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed
Oh,
Reindeer.
okay.
He
He was the narrator. It
right.
was
what's his name?
Burl Ives.
Burl Ives, yeah.
Yeah. What's his name?
Yeah, come on.
We got it.
We've
And
got
pretty
hand
quickly,
gestures.
too.
They just celebrated their
Pat gives us warning now when he doesn't know where he's going. He gets his hand out. It's like, get your brain going.
Yeah.
Get your brain going.
Yes.
Listen, thanks for the skunk help.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. Trap him and kill him.
No.
Yeah, no.
We're coming
It's-
right
it's a
back.
sprayer.
Our number 239-9393. Once again, we have made it through to the final segment.
I don't have any
We like to
fingernails left.
call it the speed round, where we take your calls at 239-9393 as quick as we can. But you're going to tell us how much snow you got at your place, and that's okay. The speed round is brought to you by
Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Great pricing on Lazy Boy. Indiana-made Smith Brothers Furniture. Mattresses made in Indiana. And maintenance-free outdoor furniture. Free delivery up to 75 miles. The pride of Bartholomew County. It's ThompsonFurniture.net.
Who's ready for the speed round?
Sign me up.
You can't handle the speed round. Joining us on the program,
We have no idea.
Ethan.
First off, we have a man we know well. Some people like to be called legendary. This guy is just regular Jeff.
Regular Jeff joins us on the program. Hey, Jeff.
I know one more call, and I'm going to have to talk to somebody about, sponsoring my own segment. But I gotta be honest with you. You're going down to Orlando. The last time I was there was 2001, and I want you to do something, Pat, for me. When you go down there, they used to have these bricks out front that had names on them of people that had experienced. We had gone in 71 when I was 10 years old, and our family looked and everything. And
That's at
and
Epcot.
yeah. Is it gone or still going on? And if it is,
Well,
have your names put on there.
So you're talking about the walls, the upright?
No, these are the bricks.
Oh, the bricks,
And
okay.
in Epcot and at Fantasyland, you have the bricks all over.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you can
Yeah.
still do it or not.
If you have money, they'll figure it out.
The reason I know that the show is Home and Garden, it's kind of slow because it's winter months, guys. So I apologize for coming in, but I appreciate you helping me out with my, my memory and everything. My memory glands are like
dude, I know.
firing because we never know where we're going to go. And you guys remind me of so much stuff that's happened in my life. And I got to share it with you to get a laugh.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for
See
taking
you,
my
Jeff. Have a good weekend. Up next, we have. Turn on
Hit
your
your
mic.
own mic. Kyle, you are amazing.
Everybody calm down. It's the speed round, baby. Up next, we have Lloyd, who's got a good comment about the school system.
Hey, Lloyd.
No, this best wishes to everybody on your show. My comment, I have family in the school system. The amount of money difference between the working teachers and some of the administrators is disgusting.
Amen.
Amen.
All these people building Taj Mahals to themselves when other kids have to have somebody in the tax bank pay for their books, their school. A lot of them get clothes. A lot of them don't have anything. There's something really, really wrong with the government systems, and I thank you
I
for what you
cannot
said.
agree with you more.
You got 5 votes right here.
This is what we need. Well-maintained, average buildings. And then we need to invest in our teachers, invest in our people, smaller class sizes, more teachers. But what we do, we spend hundreds and hundreds of millions on buildings.
It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with IPS. Because right now there's a couple bills out there, and it may be that the government may take those over, may consolidate.
Oh, the government take them over? That should work.
Yeah, well, you're right. I mean, I'm just. I think IPS at this moment feels pretty helpless without the voices. They're strongly recommending. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you want to do. And anyway, that'll be interesting to see what happens with IPS, how that looks in the coming future.
We need help. All right, who's our last caller of the day?
Hit your mic button.
Last caller is none other than the man who auditions for everything and is ready to call. We have the real Fulton.
Fulton!
Oh, just a minute spare.
Somebody has to call him up.
1 minute. Hey, Fulton.
You have to hit this button. There we go.
Oh, that was my job, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
We're up against time,
we got
Fulton.
three third place bronze medal last Sunday, and we've got a big basketball game tomorrow night.
What position do you play?
I played defense.
Okay, good.
All right.
Good.
So we got a big game tomorrow night. We're playing at Cathedral High School at 7.
You're playing you're playing at Cathedral High School?
Yep, at 7 o'clock if you want to try to make it.
All right, I may try to get over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're called the Chargers, and gonna head to my talent show in Castleton. So.
Okay. All right. Well, we good luck to you this weekend. It sounds like you have another busy weekend. I wish I was as busy as you and had as many friends. Thank you, Fulton. Okay.
Is that
Looks
it?
like we
That's
made
it.
Last call, you got them all in?
Yeah, we got them all in.
Okay, do you think you were helpful today to anyone?
Yes, I think Pat did a great lawn segment.
Okay.
And I think we talked about some colors, and we learned that no
Yeah.
one likes mauve here except for me.
Right.
And
Denny, what about Denny? All the great stuff Denny did.
Denny didn't do anything.
With the weeds
No,
thing.
his In the Weeds was
really good.
He did like 3 weeks worth.
It was almost
Wait,
too good.
I have a.
Please, pat in the back.
Okay, the blue country, Wedgwood blue. Is that what it was?
Maybe. I just knew it as country blue. But anyway, what about it? You
I was
bringing
just
it
trying
back?
to think of the name.
He's trying to remember the.
Remember country?
He's
I
pointing
do.
at us.
I just knew it as country blue.
Yeah.
A very specific
And
kind
it's
of
the
country
style.
blue.
I remember when
of the year, several
there
years
was a
ago.
lot of people that built their businesses on that country style.
Yeah.
And when it was gone, it's like if they didn't pivot, they were gone as well. I mean, I'm talking about gift shops and different things like that. But it was so big.
It sure was, especially
Country.
right here in Indiana.
Huge.
Do you guys
Yes, it
remember when
was.
people were decorating their kitchens with chickens?
That was the country
That was
era.
country.
Yeah, that was that country
I
theme.
feel like everyone had a family member who had a chicken kitchen.
It was very popular
I
for
think
a while.
I think we had a cage with a couple chickens in it, fake chickens.
In that kitchen.
Not in our
Chicken
house, but in
painting and-
yeah.
That you sold.
Chicken
My
Your
mom.
family had chickens? I'm
Fake
not
chickens.
buying
Not
it.
real ones.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was really before the animatronic chickens that we would have now. I actually have chickens.
You do?
Yeah. I have a rooster and a chicken. And you just plug them in. They do great.
Out pops the egg.
Yeah, not from the
$5
rooster.
for that
Not
egg.
from the
Speaking of
rooster.
chickens, remember the Love Train, SullivanHardware.com, because we have a lot of animation. It's going to be great. All right, Abdul's coming up next. We'll see you next week, 93 WIBC.